just like our infrastructure, how our society is going to be, because we're we're entering a new fucking evolution of fucking jobs and all this other shit. We gotta kind of figure it out. You can't just wait for
Yeah.
stuff to happen. That's kind of what the idea is. So I
Well,
don't know.
I
That's
mean,
kind of my
that's
that's kind of my
good
introductory
because,
feeling.
yeah,
Hello,
I don't know.
hello.
Hello,
What's up?
what's happening?
Hi. Yeah. Oh, cool. I just caught you. Hopefully, Plato's going to join us because she was the one that seemed the most driven to talk about this topic.
For sure, I do. That's why I wanted to
Yeah.
talk. That's what I'm saying. 'Cause after I remember hearing about this a while ago, but then I just haven't thought about it till she brought it up. I was like, oh yeah, I know this guy. Like, if I recall, it's not that
Yeah.
big of a deal. Some people think it is, like, but I don't think it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just kind of curious, like, why it has her so anxious. It's keeping her awake at night. So, like, is she reading more than what I'm? I mean, like, I just don't know. I gotta ask because, like,
Yeah, right.
like two sessions ago, well, maybe even longer, but we were even saying like we don't even have enough shit for our actual infrastructure
Oh, I know.
to be this radical,
Mm-hmm.
thing that yeah, it's gonna come, but it's gonna roll out slower than I think
Mm-hmm.
what we're hearing because of the just logistics of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. It's
So
kind of like the AI. Like people
yes,
keep saying, like AI is gonna take over by 2030. I'm like, it might, but it ain't gonna do nothing like that. Like, dude, our AI is so far from being like perfect and shit. Like, I don't know. So I think people are just more
yeah,
fear based on like. I think it's a lot of it's because it's new technology that people don't really truly understand, and they think it's happening so fast, and they try to
yeah,
slow it down. But again, like you're saying, like we don't even have the infrastructure, so it's going to be slow process. People think it's going to be, like I said, 3 to 5 years. Like, much more electricity and shit we need. I think we already need double the electricity we already have. Let alone if we keep adding more shit to it, it's gonna be like what 4 times the amount. Like, how are you gonna do that? We can't even figure shit out
yeah,
already.
yeah. We just went to 5G, and how long did it take for that?
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So like, what do we need? 10G?
Oh, yeah, man. Well,
And like, do I
the
cook
other thing that can
cook
be
my ramen
scary.
off my forehead?
I would say the other thing that can be scary for some people is like, it's like the Neuralink thing, which, because like I said, the big thing he was talking about, the only thing that concerns me is talking about, like they said, the digital and biological, like fusing of people. Which, when I heard that kind of shit, I was thinking like the video game Cyberpunk 2077. Like, are you saying that we're gonna be like humanoids, but like we could have chips in our brains that could we could kind of like the Matrix, where you could download like a whole fucking, I don't know, how to draw, how to fucking build stuff, that kind of thing. Like I said, to me, it doesn't sound like a
I
big
tell you
deal, but
what.
I think people are afraid of
Yeah.
it.
I'm kind of jazzed by it. I gotta be honest, because if I could have people read my mind without having to say anything, like that's gonna save me so much aggravation.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like just the
feel the same kind of.
honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just the honesty. Well, thank God, like I'm a pretty chill person and I'm pretty grounded and like I don't have malice in me. But like there are people that do have those thoughts and they've got to filter themselves. So, but like, don't you want to know those people like sooner than later?
For sure. I'd rather have somebody be a fucked up person openly so I could know and just avoid them, kind of thing, versus being like duped
Yeah.
like a year later. Like, oh, now I found out you're a shitty person. Like, fuck.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, there's going to be like, if we can kind of read minds with this technology, like it's going to save us so much aggravation, I think.
Yeah. I mean, like, so the one thing I
Yeah, I
looked at
mean,
with
like, can you imagine?
yeah, I was saying the thing that I looked at with
Can you imagine?
Neuralink is that fucking they they want to make like limbs move and shit. So wouldn't that be cool? Like if you're paraplegic and all of a sudden now you can walk and talk and do all that kind of shit. Like that would be dope too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good with
Well,
it.
even if, yeah, I mean, can you imagine if you're a police officer and it's like, okay, like I can read exactly why you did it,
Hmm.
and guess what? It's small potatoes.
Yeah.
Like if you stole some shit from like a 7-Eleven, like if it's small potatoes, like let the dude go, you know?
Right. Well, yeah. Also, you can get like the malice, like like, are you stealing because you're just stealing to be like a piece of shit, or are you stealing because, like I said, your family's poor or whatever the fuck? Like there's
Yeah.
situational. So you could say like, oh, I could see that you fucking are really struggling here. You can have this pop or whatever,
Yes.
whatever you were trying to take,
Well,
kind of thing.
even the officer could be more compassionate and be like, "Oh,
Yep.
okay, you stole this because you didn't eat for 2 or 3 days. Guess what? I can fucking take in McDonald's.
Right.
Problem solved. Like, I don't need to book you, you know? I
Yep.
understand your human need. Yeah, it's like it could be really effective. So I don't know. I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
Neither am I. Like I tell people all the time. I feel like this is all part of the. Every time there's new technology, humans always think that's the destroyer of worlds. Like I said, it was in industrial revolution back in the 1900s. It was the internet. It's gonna be, this shit in the future. Like, I just feel like it's just human nature. Like, oh shit, we don't understand this, and therefore we're scared of it instead of just embracing it and or really just thinking about it. Like, like, do these things actually benefit society? Do these things make life easier? You can spread
Yeah.
the wealth.
Well,
You can spread anything like that. Yeah.
yeah, I kind of typed this earlier. I don't know if you guys got a chance to read my Discord thing, but the one thing that I do see implications already is the people that have small businesses, and let's say a bot like Google doesn't think you're a human,
Mm-hmm.
it can really F as
Oh,
far as like risk management, because I know it's incapacitated someone just by like reviews and just trying to prove to Google like, hey, I'm legit, I'm human, this is my business.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be there's gonna be problems, and obviously it's gonna be like anything. Like when we first, with the last industrial revolution, obviously we had like sweatshop workers, and we fucking had kids working. Like, we had problems right away, but like throughout time, you kind of figure out the kinks and you get the things right. So I feel like it's kind of the same thing with this, like these bots and all this bullshit. It's like even like talking on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Like, how many people you talk to are probably bots? You just don't even realize it. Like, this is a real problem.
Yeah.
But like,
Hmm.
I feel like eventually, like, if we get some better fucking like cybersecurity shit and all that kind of shit up and running for the masses of people instead of just big organizations, hopefully it'll negate a lot of these things, and hopefully, like, in
Yeah.
5-10 years, we have a better situation. And that's all you can really hope
Well,
for.
for real. And I'm telling you what, if you're a lawyer and you're at the dawn of this, there's going to need to be so many laws written,
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's golden. Like, you got to have the incident to create the precedent for the law, like
Mhm.
holy, like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah,
let me
if
be a
you're a
lawyer
judge,
like
you gotta,
today.
right now, a judge will eventually have a lot of say in how things go, because you're gonna have to make a ruling on this. This might be the first ruling until another.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna be setting the precedent for maybe 50 to 100 years or something.
Yeah. That's super exciting, I think.
Yeah, like I said, to me, like I said, this stuff doesn't scare me like a lot of people. I think it's mostly good. There could, like I said, there could be always some negative flaws and shit. It's like anything; it's how it's implemented. But to me, it's just, these are all just tools of how we as humanity use them.
Hmm. Agreed.
Yeah. What do you think, Brandon?
Well, yeah, I'll be back for
What
dinner.
were we talking about? Shit.
Just all the like the future of what's happening with like working and jobs, and second they were talking about bots and how bots are fucking taking over, like stopping people from having good Google reviews or whatever, because they might think that you're fake, like a fake business versus like a real business or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like I said, I'm personally not scared of none of this stuff. Oh, there's always a little fear, I guess, in the sense of like if it's going to be used for good or not. But right, Tyler, where are you at, lady? But yeah, like I said, I'm not really super scared of this shit.
Yeah. I want to see what she has to say.
I do too, because like I said, she's the one that's stressed about. Like I said, I'm thinking she's gonna go into like the whole human cyborg kind of thing. I think that's gonna be the big fear. Or I think she's gonna say like rich people are gonna use all these tools, and it's not gonna get down to the normal people. Because that's another thing I hear. I see this word now, stakeholder. You ever heard of the word stakeholder?
Stakeholder, as in like what? Like,
So like shareholders are like companies making money for people, right? Like individual companies.
yeah.
Right? A stakeholder would be like if the company, like the analogy I was heard was like there's let's say GM is fucking building plants next to a river. If they're dumping pollution into that river, the people in the city and that state, whatever, are stakeholders. They can vote or with their voice tell people like we need to end this. We can't have this no more. So you're a stakeholder. Like it's basically like voting. It's like democracy in a different way.
Okay.
So some people think like they think that these people are going to be the only stakeholders, and we're not. And that's another thing I've seen with like
Yeah.
conspiracy people. Like they're the only ones that are going to make choices. Like, well, like, yeah, you're right, but it could be also we just like another form of democracy where we all vote for the better good, kind of thing. So like it has both ways. But
Yeah.
who knows? That's my guess. That's gonna be my guess of the fears.
I don't want overseers in any fucking way. I want everything to be completely open, democratic.
Sure.
Dialogue from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these assholes can't. Yeah.
I think that's
you
the
can't have
big
any
fear is
more
that they're
assholes
going to be the
in the
only
world.
ones. They're going to be
Yeah.
because they're the power. I mean, but the thing is, honestly, even if it was that case, it's nothing new than what it's happening right now. Like honestly, like what's happening now? The rich people decide
Yes,
all the
I
shit for
agree.
all of us. So I mean, like really,
No way.
you're just staying
But-
stagnant. It's not good, but it's not worse. I would say. Let's see here. Yeah, one of these days I should. Yeah, he wrote a book called the COVID-19, The Great Reset. That was his last big book that I was listening to people argue about.
Okay. Josh messaged me.
Okay.
He said he had a bad day.
That sucks. My day was fine. It was just
Everybody's therapist.
Yeah.
Not everybody's.
I get
I'm
you.
his therapist.
Fuck yeah, I get that. Like I said, I bartend. I hear everyone's problems. I always say I should get paid way more for what people tell me.
Right, you're fulfilling a fucking public service for free.
I know. Let's see. The worldwide crisis triggered by the coronavirus pandemic has no parallel in modern. It's funny they keep saying that. COVID pandemic was no parallel. But like, what happened to like the Spanish flu and like all these other flu, like the Black Plague? Like this should happen before. It's not first time ever. Cannot be accused of hyperbolic when we say it is plunging our world into an entirety, and each of us individually into the most challenging times we've faced in generations. It is a defining moment. We will be dealing with the fallout for years, and many things will change forever. It is bringing economic disruption of monumental proportions, creating a dangerous and volatile period of multiple fronts, politically, socially, and geopolitically, raising deep concerns about the environment and the extending reach of technology into our lives. No industry or business will be spared from the impact of these changes. Millions of companies risk.
There she is.
What was it? She here? Cool.
Oh, I said there she is. Yep.
Hello.
Oh, I interrupted you.
No, that's fine. She's muted.
You keep fucking yammering.
I was just reading some of the book.
do.
Just reading what his first paragraphs in this book.
Yeah, I'm reading this shit that Josh sent me about serotonin syndrome.
Oh, okay. I
He
got
says he thinks he has. Or has
He
been going
thinks he
through
has serotonin syndrome.
it. Yeah.
That would be a very serious thing.
He says it's the most painful thing he's ever experienced, so.
It just happened?
yeah.
Like recently? Or...
Serotonin syndrome is when
What
you're
it
taking
says.
too many suppressants of the nervous system.
Okay.
I mean, his body would be shutting down. That's a very
He's
serious
also
condition.
got heart failure. I don't know what the fuck he's doing,
Oh.
dude. Why is
I
he fucking
mean-
around like this?
That is what? That's fucking crazy.
SSRIs do it, but I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, it says shivering, diarrhea, dilated pupils, sweating.
So I read the two books because, well, I downloaded the Dreadful TikTok about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And people are having a bunch of lives on there. So I'm like listening, going along, and I came across this one live, that wasn't just arguing the stupid black versus white, woman versus man, red versus blue,
Yeah.
all the
Yep, normal ones.
divisive topics.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about it doesn't matter because the World Economic Forum's taking over. So, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And he was like, you need to get your properties into a trust, like an irreversible trust or something like that. Or you're not going to have any private property anymore. And like, I'm trying to find where this is. And like, he says it in his book, but I'm struggling to figure out where on the World Economic Forum
Hold on.
that these laws are actually being implemented.
addition, ultra purpose around the world will increase wealth inequality. So that Klaus Schwab guy in his book, he says the ultra accommodative monetary policies pursued around the world will increase the wealth inequalities by fueling asset prices, most notably in financial markets and in property markets. So maybe something along that line.
Yeah. Because he says we only have 4 years if we're lucky.
But why though? I mean, I have to
Like
see.
that they're buying, like we won't have any private property. Like it'll all be bought up.
So like, are you talking about the land that's already like that's available right now? Like you're saying like BlackRock kind of people where they're buying up all the houses and kind of shit like that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Well, yeah, but even like house that you live in right now, like that property, like if my parents were to pass away,
Mm-hmm.
like it's no longer theirs even if they paid it off.
Uh,
Because he's talking about like 15-minute cities. I don't know. Like I'm trying to catch up with all this.
mm-hmm.
I'm worried that I don't know.
I
I'm
mean,
worried that I'm getting tripped up by someone who's using the current climate as a
so like we were
manipulation.
talking about. I think so. I personally am not super scared of all this because like I was telling Brandon and all them earlier. I feel like this is kind of like human nature. Whenever fucking we have new technology, so even with the last industrial revolution, we thought that was going to end the world slash change. You know, make people not work. People, you know, all these things that we always think of that are horrible. And then it happened again with the internet, and now it's going to happen with like the future with the microchipping and shit. Like I said, the only thing I feel like that could be bad is I'm not sure if it's going to be good or bad to fucking necessarily make like bionic humans, like Klaus Schwab was talking about merging biology and your digitalness or whatever it is. Your
Well, yeah, and also they're already like you go into it, they are already having people um no longer frozen, but they're having people put under a chemical that keeps their brain
like moving.
oxygenized or something like that.
Yep.
So that if we were to develop technology in the future that could bring them back.
Yep. Honestly, I feel like we're
And
like
like
2
you're
generations
already
away.
doing this.
Yeah, I guess I tell people all the time at the bar that I work at. I feel like we're like 2 generations away from fucking never dying because I feel like your brain's gonna get
I feel
downloaded
like
to the consciousness, and
feel
then
like we're already there. They'll probably perfect it in 2 years.
see. I think everything. I think your timeline is way too close. I think these things are gonna take longer than you think because like we're just in the beginning stages of all this.
So some guys said 10 years. We have no fucking idea. I mean, we don't have any idea. Like, I mean, there's a possibility that there's shit that's concealed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But,
Yeah, and
There's
that's
always
kind
a
of my
chance.
thing. Like they've had this technology for far longer in the private area, like the military and our governments and stuff like that. But now it's available to the general public. So I'm sure they already know most of the extents that it can reach before they released it to the public, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they're probably like I always estimate about 10 to 15 years ahead of us, like the military and like the top shit. So yeah, they're probably a little ahead of us, but like I don't know, man. I mean, it's kind of like this whole like the AI thing. Like you know, I read fucking some of these papers. I think that AI is going to take over by 2030, and I don't think that's the case. I think it'll.
That's what that whole thing is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a big part of it. I mean, I guess I could see it happening, but like in 5, 6, 10 years, I don't think so. Like I could see it happening maybe in 20, maybe 30 years, kind of thing. Like I said, I'm more
Yeah.
scared of honestly fucking just humans dumbing down and fucking falling for misinformation and shit like that. I feel like that's a bigger issue that's going to affect us in the near future more than this. But this is like
Yeah,
there is a chance.
I think that's the point. Because most people don't, in America at least, most people don't really know what's going on with our politics.
Oh,
I mean, you ask the average person, and that's like such a taboo topic, and it's normally because they don't know anything about it.
Yep, that's part of it. And plus, like I always say,
I mean, we're already there, and then the other half just don't vote.
Yeah, true. But like, I don't know. Like, let me think here. So there's this book. I mean, like you can read Klaus Schwab's book. It's called the COVID-19: The Great Reset. It's like 110 pages. You can find it free on Google right now. Actually, I've just started reading some of it. But like,
Yeah, I finished that one earlier last week.
did you? And do you think this is
Yeah.
mostly right or mostly wrong, or like a mix?
I mean, what he says makes complete sense, and I can see the evolution and how it would happen. Now, I don't understand quite the economic part, but the like social part
Yep.
and the individualist part,
Mm-hmm.
that part I definitely can see. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Whether it's the ultimate, oh my God, whether it's the ultimate thing, I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know either. Like I said, I will admit, like these are all possibilities. So like, it's not like a 0% chance, but like I just don't think it's gonna be as
well,
bad as
and
this
the
thing.
other part is Gavin Newsom's part of the WEF. He was the global leaders of the future or something like that. So, and Trump obviously has been in with the billionaires for far longer than
Mhm.
any of us. And then I'm sure he's dabbled with the secret societies that still hold influence today
Yeah.
in some shape or form because he's dealing with so much money.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes me nervous. I feel like there's a pin on her back right now.
A pin? Let me think here. Let me think here.
Wait, who's
I'm
back?
worried about
Oh.
what's going to happen between now and this heavenly, eco-friendly fucking village that Klaus Schwab is.
Yeah. If you want to think, have you seen the movie The Lorax? It's kind of like that, I would assume, where it's like you have a smog city outside, but like everything inside the city's beautiful and perfect, so everyone's fucking like, oh, the world's going great, even though it's really not.
Yeah. And I feel like, okay, so you know what's going on in, like Israel and Gaza and stuff like that?
Yeah, how it's gonna be Trump
You
towers.
see how Israeli people, the Jewish people, talk and how they react about the Palestinians and stuff like that, and they act the same way we do.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
they're basically America.
it's eerie because
really
it's like, are we in the beginning stages of these types of fucked up?
Maybe. I mean, I would. So like,
Because we're so young as a nation, I feel like, or yeah.
well, I'm saying that like honestly, I could foresee maybe not in our lifetime, but like maybe my kids or the next one that like America falls and China takes over and becomes like the world leader, which will affect
Yeah.
everything and make everything different because obviously then their dollar becomes the new currency and all this. Like how it's going to affect us? It's going to affect us probably
Well,
really
I don't
fucking
even.
bad.
I think crypto is going to be the new.
World currency? It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. I read something about like Israel has like the main fucking big one for like the whole world. So
Of course they do.
you know, but I hate crypto. I'm so anti-crypto. I try to tell people.
Xerxes, get down.
I hate crypto. I try to get people to stop buying it, but it is what it is. I don't even get the whole point of it though, because it's just all it is. Just it's not regulated, but like eventually, if it becomes like the world currency or something like that, it's gonna be super regulated, right? So it's gonna go back to being like the dollar. Only thing is, it'll be digital, I suppose. There'll be no fucking like dollar bills.
Yeah, and that's what freaks me out.
Mm-hmm. Well, that could. I mean, that could be definitely bad. I mean,
I don't like that because that's
I
like.
don't either. Yeah, that is bad. I don't like not having some kind of like actual
How
tangible
can
currency.
that just be erased? You know what I mean? Or collapse? Or one day, like the whole fucking system's down. No one knows what.
Yeah.
I mean,
have you seen what's that movie? Live Free or Die Hard with Shia LaBeouf.
no, I haven't. I haven't seen that many movies by choice.
That's fine.
Well,
that movie is basically about like if the guy could like hack into the government, like turn like all those street lights green, all the ones just causes mass havoc. Erases everyone's debt, all that kind of shit. So that's kind of like the premise of that movie is if someone could do all the shit like that, what would happen? And you see like the chaos that would happen. Like
yeah,
it'd be wild.
Eagle Eye or whatever.
Not Eagle Eye. That's a great one too. No, Live Free or Die Hard with Bruce Willis and him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's like the premise. But it is a
Did you guys
possibility.
see the video footage of Gaza now that they've
I've seen a
opened
bunch
it
of
up?
pictures of it, how it's fucking nothing.
It's fucked.
That's what I'm saying. I read this thing. It's like Netanyahu found out he couldn't bomb anymore because they fucking already bombed everything. So now he's just giving Trump credit for the win. Like, oh, you caused us to have
Yeah.
peace. But like,
I
it
mean,
wasn't
there's
really
nothing
peace. It's
left.
that you fucking bombed everything. What else? What more can you bomb?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt he would let the rest of them starve. He was already letting them starve. I mean, he was going to let them go to the point of probably eating each other and everything.
Dude, who knows?
What?
I mean, they basically already were, in the sense. Gaza's unemployment's up to 80%. I wonder why. Such a funny thing to type. Yeah, so destruction. Let's look at these. Yep. Yeah, like, I heard you, buddy boy. Yeah, even the buildings that are standing, they're all fucking gone. Like, you're gonna have to redo everything with this. Yeah, I can't even find one picture of like any like actual open area where it's not bombed. Where is Gaza not bombed? Just the West Bank. Oh, that's not even Gaza, so yeah. Crazy.
Horrendous.
It is horrendous. See before March.
They literally leveled it.
I know they did. So going back to this, I guess the best way to solve for like all this kind of shit would probably be a UBI. If they're gonna go,
Yeah,
like
that's
this
what they
route,
want to implement.
you know. Only thing that
But
could be
then,
bad.
but then that thing is how then it's got way like a oh no. What's that? Sorry.
You're all good.
I don't know. Something I feel that we're heading towards some rocky times, not just in like within, but externally. I feel like things are already shifting.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that because, like I said, once like AI and all that shit started being like implemented to the masses, I think things changed like dramatically. Because, like I said, just even like having bot farms and fucking like on Facebook and Twitter, like how many times are you arguing with people and honestly, you probably don't even know if they're real. They could be someone fake just to argue with you. You know, like shit like that. That changes everyone's perception of like just basic reality, even.
Yeah.
Question is, what the fuck can we do? Like,
I don't see. The thing is, I
it's
think
like
we're so
all we
far.
do
I
is
think we're so
go
far
to
into
work
it.
and
So that's what
yeah.
that guy was saying. That's what that guy was saying on the thing, was that you have to make your own independent communities and you have to put it in a trust. Otherwise, you have to follow their rules.
Hold on, let me see. Because I don't get the
This
property
is
thing.
absolutely
That's what
ridiculous.
I'm saying. I gotta look at
Sick
this.
of these cocksuckers that have just no vision for life whatsoever.
Like, you don't think they would ever force us to put chips in, right?
Force us?
I mean,
Ooh, I think
here's
they
the
might.
thing:
I think
is
they might.
it would be
Someday.
fucking cool if we could trust people with this shit
Yeah,
and it
that's the
could
whole
be
thing.
used for something
Yep.
cool. But no,
That is the thing. Like I always try to preface with all these things. All these things we're even talking about are all just tools. They're not necessarily bad or good. It's just how we as people are going to implement them. Like
Yeah, I know.
Mel was saying earlier.
Well,
like,
yeah,
you know, it'd be
and
great if you could read my mind because we have chips that can like, you know, interlock where you can see like what the fuck I'm coming at. Like I'm talking to you, and you kind of can't understand what I'm saying, but you can see my brain now. You can be like, oh, I get your point. Like that could be a really cool fucking thing. Now if they do it where like you fucking talk shit about them, they turn your chip off, you're dead. That's fucked. You know, like you know, like just
yeah, that's
saying,
what I
like,
mean. Like,
yeah, I get all that. I gotta feel like no matter what.
It's like a petty god almost,
Well,
like fucking
for
Christ. Why
That's
can't we have
exactly what it
why can we
is.
not have a good god? Like a just
Who
fuck
knows,
off.
right?
Well,
Why
I
can't we
don't
have
think
people that
that's
aren't
ever going to
retarded doing
happen.
shit?
I know that people
Fuck.
suck, but like I see, like it's kind of sucks because I don't know how to explain this because obviously people like Nazis and even like the MAGA movement like show you that it's not. But like
This is
most humans, I feel like want what's best for people. Like I always try to tell people like when people are like anti-science or anti like hospitals
Yeah,
and shit,
most
I'm always
people,
like
but billionaires already show that they don't care.
yeah, I get that, but like
And then you get a bunch of them in a room and they run a World Economic Forum, and all of a sudden we're just their little
true, but then people, but
fucking
I'm saying individual
experiments.
people have to carry it out. Like, so, like I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like people who are scared of the doctors and all this other shit, right? Like I always tell them, like, you think that doctor's trying to fucking kill you or hurt you? No, he's trying to do everything. He's telling you exactly what you need to hear to make your situation better. Like you could not do it or do it, whatever the fuck. But like in the end, like that doctor wants to help you, and I feel like most people, like around this country, world, whatever, kind of want what's better for humanity, even though they might.
Yeah, but what if but that's just it. Like, what's better for humanity isn't always what's pushed through our education system. You get what
True.
I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
I do understand all
that's
that.
why we have such a problem with all these antidepressants. We've instead of fixing our fucking society, we just want to put everybody on drugs.
That's part of it. I think internet's a big part of that. Like I said, you dopamine, you got information, everything always instantly, so
Yeah.
it's not good. But
And
and
so
again,
much information
you know,
too.
and that's the thing. Like, so like you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Like we know, like it'd probably be better if we didn't have these things, right? But you're never getting rid of the internet. You're never getting rid of all this shit. It's like, so how do we like coalition or collate together or whatever, coexist or something? Because we have to find a way because that is it's going to be the future for the rest of our humanity, I guess.
I'm never ever gonna let them put a chip in me willfully.
No, probably not. Like I don't know, man. It'd have to be something.
And then they'll offer
drastic.
MAID.
Well, the thing is, like I said, so like even like the chip thing, like if Neuralink worked the way it's supposed to, where like you could go from being a paraplegic to walking and shit, like that would be really fucking cool. But again, it comes down to
Oh yeah,
who and
absolutely.
what. It's always the who and what and why. That's the real questions that come down to a lot of these things. Because like all these things can be awesome. They can be the best things in humanity, and they also could be the fucking worst things in humanity. So I don't know. I guess
Yeah, I mean, like when it gets used for things other than medical, when it starts getting used for things like, oh, you don't have to have a phone or a
yeah,
or a screen anymore.
you put it in your brain.
We'll just put a chip in your brain and it'll
You know, you think
do
about
it for
fucking
you.
inflation. Guess what? Inflation apps come up in your fucking brain and shit. Yeah, I get. And again, I mean,
Yeah.
technically that could be cool, but again, it's the I guess like you're saying, like the other side where if whoever controls it goes, oh, this person's looking up all wrong, horrible things. We're just gonna cut them off and cut off everything they got. You know, like so, like
Yeah.
that is the problem. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, I can see both ways. My whole thing, I guess, my thinking is, I don't think it's going to be as fast as you're fearing. I think it's going to be a lot longer process. Like, I think in 20, 30 years. That's just my
Maybe I'll
guess.
be gone by then.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like I was telling someone earlier, like, I think we're 2 generations away from never dying. Like, you just download your consciousness into a cloud and you put in a new body.
I don't want that though. Then what's the point?
I mean, it kind of goes to the religious thing in the sense, like, if you live in heaven forever, is it still heaven? You know, like on day billion. You know, like probably not, right? Like,
Yeah.
anything good, too much of it becomes bad. So it's kind of the same thought. Like we love life, obviously, because you know we only got one life and we got to cherish it and do everything. But like, if you never died, I don't know if that'd actually be good. Like you watch all these like movies.
That's what I
or, like,
mean.
yeah, I'm saying you watch stories and shit. How many people that have like infinite life wish they could die at the end? They always do, right? Like I've seen everyone die. I've done, you know, like I don't want to be here no more.
Yeah.
It depends
Yeah,
on
that's
how
exactly it. That would
much
be the
you
worst part is
expand.
everybody in your life is temporary.
Yep. What do you say, Brett?
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, but I mean, if everybody's immortal, then everybody's immortal. But it depends on how much you expand your fucking horizon, right?
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. If you could grow, but that's my thing. Like if you only grew for like if you grew for like 1,000 years, like you got better, smarter, whatever. Like at some point, like I don't know how much more you can take. You know, like how much more you can eat. Your brain can even handle of that much information.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Biological parts.
Again, we
Yeah.
don't have
Right.
nobody's ever done it, so obviously we have no fucking thing to study it. But like, I don't know. It's fascinating.
I don't know. I feel like if you come up with something new to do, like there'd be a way to get interested in it. Maybe I don't know.
For sure, and that's what you'd hope. But I mean, like,
It's just perspective. I mean,
a lot of it is.
Yeah.
change the frame so that you're interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there would be something profound to it, but maybe not like eternal life, but like, all right, guys, I'm sick of this. Peace out.
Yeah, I don't, because that's the thing. You have to get like a fucking new hobby,
Or
like,
it
probably
could be
like every
used
10
as a
years.
torture thing. Like
For
you
sure.
want to escape, but you can't.
Sure.
Ugh.
I'm saying even like you can go like I said, if you love like food, right? They can torture you, make you just eat unlimited amount of food. Maybe or you're like, I'm so sick of sweets, I'm so sick of this, but all I can eat is this, right? Because it's supposed to be the perfect, like what I wanted or whatever the fuck, like for sure, there's a lot of
Yeah.
things they could do like that.
I'm afraid that they can already do some stuff like as far as like fucking with our like fight and flight responses with all these networks that we're setting up.
Ooh, that's tough to me. Just because fight or flight is literally like in the moment. You just, unless you've been there, I always use like, if a school shooting happens, I could say I would do this, but until it actually happens, I have no fucking clue, right? Like, because it's that moment. You just, your body either shocks up and tenses up or fucking goes off, like, But until you're there, you don't really know. You can guess, you can speculate and shit, but so that's gonna be hard. Like I said, the best thing that they could do now, I feel like, is they can just manipulate. That's a big thing. Like they manipulate our thoughts and our talking points and our fucking everything.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Like like it's just like the whole news cycle in general. Like why is it we only talk about this thing for one day? Well, because the news cycle and people have dictated like
because we have so much information coming at us at all times that it's never ending.
True. But like honestly,
of course we're just gonna cycle through it.
Sure, but like to me, like aren't some topics like weighted more than other topics? Like some topics should be talked about a lot more than other ones, kind of thing. That's the thing. Like
Absolutely.
if this is a serious issue, we should not be moving on in a day or two. But again, that's where they can manipulate us. They manipulate our thought process and our talking points that they can go, oh, it's no big deal. We got to go on and move on. And then everybody does it instead of, I wish there was
when it comes down to the words that they even use, like as I was watching the news coverage today, I can't remember what I don't remember what news channel it was. My mom just had it on and was watching, the words that they use for the Israeli people that they released were neutral words,
Yeah.
The words that they used in regard to the Palestinians was prisoners.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And that's when I was like, prisoner.
Yeah.
They were held against their will. They are also hostages.
I was saying they were both prisoners, and technically one had way more. It was like 2,000 to like 50, but
yeah, and they ended up killing 67,000 of them, something like that.
I don't even know how many fucking people died in Gaza. Tons of people.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Something crazy.
Yeah, they estimate 65 to 70,000 people. 59%.
So
59% of them being women. Crazy.
Of course.
Huh. That is fucked up for sure. Oh man, I lost my train of thought.
I would see the men probably went to go fight or were already killed.
I mean that they also have all these bunkers and shit. They probably hid and let the fucking people die up front up top. Because the thing is also you only have so much space. Like if you're making tunnels and shit, you only have so much space. You only have so many people in. You can't have 1.5 million people in a tunnel. So
yeah.
Fuck man, I forgot my train of thought. Manipulating us. I can't. Something with manipulation. I can't remember. Either way, they'll come to me sometime. But yeah, fucking. We gotta get people smarter. That's honestly the number one cure to all this shit is just getting people smarter. If people actually saw what's happening around them,
I think it would actually be, honestly, and I know that this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I think we should ban short videos.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I
We
get like I get why
can
you
still have
don't do it, but I get it.
platforms, but short videos need to be cut out.
Like I said, I understand where you're coming from, obviously, but I mean, you can't do it because that goes against the First Amendment shit. But yeah, like honestly, would you if you're
I
even
know,
talking
but it
about
should
any
have to be at least a minute or longer.
I mean, shit. Honestly, I would go for. Depends on the topic. Like I'm saying, if you're gonna talk about, if you were to like Google or watch a video on like Israel Gaza, right? How the fuck do you think you're gonna get that in even like 1 hour video? You're not gonna get that history or like the concepts
Yeah.
and everything. Like that's a fucking probably like an 80 to 100 hour long thing you need to actually study. You know, like, and there's a lot of topics like that where it's like, oh, the Vietnam War in 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes, you're gonna explain all the things that
Well,
happened.
not just that, like how much our government has suppressed of the things that we've done, and then other
sure.
governments suppress what they do. And
Mhm.
I mean, how are we ever supposed to get a real? How are we ever supposed to get the facts when it's all baloney nowadays?
How they do, at least with, so I study a lot of like historian shit, like how the historians find out how they do, which I'm assuming is probably the best way we're gonna do it even now, is that you have to look at all the contemporaries. So like you look at like America's how we talk about like Vietnam, but then also you gotta look at how Vietnam talks about Vietnam. You gotta look at how Japan talks about Vietnam. You gotta look at Australia. You know, you gotta like compare it with other people's
Yeah.
perceptions, and that's how you're gonna where every one of these things cross over is probably the truth. And everything else is probably your facts and feelings and shit, you know, or your feelings and stuff, you know.
Yep.
But again, it takes a lot of work because then you got to read, you know, like you probably got to read like the same article by 6 different people, and most people don't do that,
Yep.
you know. Like I don't mind most of the time. I try to read a lot of different people's perception because that's the best way to get it. But like I said, most people just want to get home and go to bed or watch football or whatever the fuck and go to sleep. That's most people in
Yep.
America's world, and that's a big problem. That's a big part of it.
We have to start making our culture more of a like education first. Like,
I thought we were for a while, but it seems again we're regressing. But for a while there, like I always tell people, like
I
if you look at all
really
the,
don't think we were.
well, I always say like if you look at all the million and billionaires, dude, they're all fucking. That's what they are. They're all fucking loser geek people, kind of shit, you know. Like, so I thought maybe that was gonna
Yeah,
be
and they
cool. And then you have the
usually
Big
made it
Bang
like
Theory and
fresh
shit.
out of high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. And like I said, we have the Big
They
Bang
also
Theory.
like a lot of them just so happen to have been born at the right time, and
Oh, dude, that's a
a
lot.
lot of these tech giants, you know,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
they were just the first ones to get their foot in the door as far as their
yeah, first mover.
contribution.
Yeah, first mover advantage. I think that's what they call it. It's basically what it was.
And then I just think about Tom
Tom, I know.
and how
The God that
Tom's
gave
just
us everything.
probably just sitting on an island somewhere.
Right. Actually, you know, I'm surprised nobody's ever done a documentary on that guy.
He probably just turns him down. He's probably like, nah, I'm good.
That could be true.
That's what I would do.
Like because the thing is, he didn't even
Don't
sell.
drag me into your
I
shit.
don't think he sold Facebook even. Like most people like that, they sell their shit off to make a bunch of money. I don't think he did any of that. I think he just let it
I
just
think
run
he
its
did
course.
sell. I think he did sell it off at the very end, because possibly. I mean, it still exists, I guess.
Tom sold MySpace to News Corp in 2005 for $580 million. Who's News Corp? Huh.
News Corp. That's isn't that Fox?
It could be. I don't know. Let me see a News Corp. News Corp is an American mass media publisher in New York City. The company was formed in 2013 as a spin-off of the First News Corporation, whose successor was 21st Century Fox. So they're like a subsidiary of Fox. News Corp and Fox are two companies that successfully succeeded in original foods. Yeah, they basically merged with Fox, or probably Fox probably bought them out because they have more money. If I were to guess. So he did sell. 2005? He sold way early then. MySpace was big till like what, like 2010 maybe? Huh. MySpace.
Where the fuck is he now?
I don't know. Where is Tom from MySpace?
Fucking chilling somewhere. Not worried about the future, probably.
Dude, he's got $500 million. He resides in Hawaii.
Really?
He lives in Hawaii. Yeah. He's a photographer now. He goes to Burning Man.
Oh.
He goes to Burning Man every year and takes pictures and shit.
Oh, good. So he gets all his money doing one weekend festival where he gets high as fuck.
Yeah. Well, obviously he don't need money. He's got $500 fucking million.
Oh, he probably still gets money though.
No, I know he does. Obviously, I'm just saying. He don't even need the money. Honestly, he can just do whatever the fuck he wants. But yeah, he likes architecture and surfing now. He's thinking about getting involved with SpaceX. Weird. That happened in 2024.
Ew, why?
I don't know.
Don't do that to us.
Right?
Hmm.
Yeah. 2024. He's showing.
You were our
interest.
last honest person, Tom.
At least
take a
like
selfie
social
in
media
space.
person. He's the last social media
Yeah.
person. And you know what's crazy about Facebook when you think of, or not Facebook, MySpace, is that like it had people learning how to code and shit. You wanted to change your background and you change all your shit. You had to fucking learn how to do like actual like software shit. It was kind of crazy. Crazy times. Tom.
Oh shit. Wasn't Patrick gonna come in here, or am I? No, he wasn't.
Okay.
I didn't message him.
I can mess with
I
him,
figured he would have seen all the chatter.
Right. Yeah, he didn't say anything, so. Let me see here.
Son of a bitch.
Just living in Hawaii.
You know, I suppose if I was rich, that'd be a good spot to live. Honestly, if I was rich, like for real, I would just want to travel the world. Like I would go everywhere. Why wouldn't you?
Way better than
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Well, that's the thing, man. You get to, like I said,
Fuck
I
yeah.
love hanging out with different cultures and people and getting everyone's perspective. Like I find that fascinating. I love it. It makes me. Like I
Whatever reason, I like almost anticipate the winter depression and like want it because it's like
said, I know.
it's like good thinking fucking mood. Like I don't fucking know. It's so weird. It's like
winter
I
does
sensed
suck.
the feeling and I was like, yeah, that feels right. Oh, there he is.
Mhm.
Speak of the devil,
What's
and
happening?
he shall appear.
You guys talking about me?
Yeah.
So,
So Patrick, have you read anything into the Great Reset at all?
ooh, I think Nate Higgins has a theory on this. There's a couple.
He only paid $3.9 million for his home. 3.8.
In Hawaii? Okay.
Only 3.8.
Right. Only.
Well, I mean, for Hawaii, that's
Oh, I know. I get what you're saying. It's just funny to us. We're like, oh, only 3.8. That's like three lives of us. All three of us working forever. Four of us working forever. That's how much money we make.
that's a problem.
I know. I was just saying, like, we act like it's nothing, but like, yeah, it's a fuck ton.
The problem.
What is the Great Reset? Or whose version of the Great Reset are we talking about?
There's a bunch of them. So we were kind of going off. If you ever heard of him, his name is Klaus Schwab. We were kind of going off his. So basically, he's saying that COVID-19 kind of changed everything, and that we're gonna have a whole new like monetary system. We're gonna have a whole new like. He was talking about like blending your biological and your digital like forms together. He's talking about. And she was talking about like how they're gonna be taking away all your private property, where you're not gonna be able to send it down to like your next of kin or whatever kind of thing.
It is like a conspiracy theory, right?
It is like it's a
Yeah, that's what
conspiracy
I'm
theory
trying to
that's happening.
determine.
It's
Is it
like
a
it's
conspiracy
happening.
theory or
My
is it
mom
actually
has talked
happening?
about this
Mhm.
like I don't even know, like probably like 3 years ago,
Yep.
and
That's when it first started coming
she's a
out.
conspiracy theorist basically to the like I mean
Yep.
she's not like a theorist, but she's
Yeah.
MAGA and
Yeah, I know
all
you.
that shit.
Yeah, that's where I heard about it too. That's why when she mentioned it the other day, I was like, "Wait, are you talking about this guy? Like, I haven't heard that name in forever." Like, but yeah, I do vaguely
Yeah, and you
remember
know
it.
who took so Klaus Schwab was the leader of the World Economic Forum.
Yep.
You know who took his place after that was the head of Nestle,
Was that who it is? I knew that he got canned like 2 years ago
the
or
founder
whatever.
of Nestle, and took that over.
Economic Forum.
You have the Queen of Jordan on there. You've got the owner of BlackRock on the World Economic Forum. You've got all these rich, incredibly rich people who want to make a one world order,
Mm-hmm.
but they're painting it in this cute little eco-friendly homes. No one will be homeless. Blah 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 blah. But like, let's be so for real right now.
Yeah, like that's where I get back to like always. That's the thing. It can be used for good. It's just who's implementing
It
it and
can be,
why.
but I really don't trust that the billionaires are going to be the ones that'll treat it well because
I
look
get
what they've
that.
done.
Like I said, I do understand that part for fucking sure.
I mean, Mark Zuckerberg's in friends with all of them people, and
Yeah, they're all
look what he did
friends.
in Myanmar.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it comes back to like, I mean, like I was telling Brandon earlier, like, even if this all happens and it is really bad, let's say, right? It's basically where we're at right now. It's the haves versus the have-nots. It's the rich versus the not rich. Like, it's literally we're just in the same spot
We're
with
literally
better
about to
technology.
become under. It kind of reminds me of like kings and queens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like total control, and there's just a bunch of peasants, common people. Like the middle class is just completely dissolved.
Yeah, I mean
Except this time there's no religion involved.
yeah. Well, no, it's all gonna be digital. That's the thing.
It's just AI.
Yeah.
AI is the religion.
Mm-hmm. Board Brandy. Yeah, the guy who
God,
runs
you got
the
small
guy who
short
runs the
videos.
World
You thought that
Economic
kid was
Forum is the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Norway. It says.
I don't know. We need philosophy.
True. Like I said, that's the only way we could stop any of this. Honestly, is a more educated mass of people, populace, whatever you want to fucking call it.
Yeah.
But like,
But how do you get something so complex out to the masses?
And hard to be like, dude, this is literally just thinking about reality. Are you fucking retarded? You don't want to think about reality? Like, I don't fucking know. Like,
yeah,
I mean, yeah,
literally,
that's
if
one
people
way.
don't know what the fuck reality is, what business do they have, like, having any kind of ego or whatever the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. You're
Yeah,
literally
they're
like,
the ones that go and fight
mm-hmm.
for no reason, proudly.
yeah, they're just fucking pawns, dude. They don't even realize it. Like, everybody, basically, in a sense.
Well, yeah,
People don't even know.
Yeah.
They don't know what the real self is. They don't fucking know what any of this shit is. I don't know. It's people just fucking do whatever they're told because they're scared.
for sure. Fear is a great motivator, for good or bad.
Yeah, so many ways. Fucking yeah, like
Well, and I
nobody's
think
like not nobody, but most people just aren't. Yeah, they're not
he mentioned a good
trying
point in
to
the
be
book
anything.
that like things like hurricanes or natural disasters usually brings communities together in support,
Mm-hmm.
but things like pandemics actually do the opposite because what it does is it triggers a primal will to survive or whatever
That makes sense.
within us.
Actually.
It puts us in survival state, so
Mm-hmm.
we actually end up being against one another. And I feel like that was used, like the whole
Heavily.
COVID thing
Yeah, that
was
was heavily
used by
used.
the billionaires to continue this thing that already existed prior, but is now being accelerated by.
Do you think that billionaires like fight amongst themselves at all? Like, do you think like the Koch brothers and like Soros? Do you think they work together to do things, or do you think that they have like opposite political
I
spectrum. where
don't think they look at it that way. I think they look at it as business deals. I don't think they look at things like that.
Okay, because like
I
that's
think
always my
their
thinking.
show is through money and power, not necessarily through discussion.
Because like the Koch brothers are trying to do one thing, and I feel like, and like the Soros and them people, they're trying to do another thing. So like, it's hard to we got to get better at not labeling like all billionaires the same. Like, because like they're all trying to use their money and power and influence. Like they're doing the same game, but for different ends. I feel like, kind of thing.
Yes, but all of them are being negligent in either directly to human beings or directly to our earth, which
Oh yeah.
indirectly affects humans and all living life. I mean, these data centers are going to be the end of water here. It's going to wreck things.
I know on the West Coast there's already water shortage because I watched a special basically because of the Rocky Mountains, water can't get to like Nebraska and shit. That's why it doesn't rain and shit there. So like they've been siphoning off the Colorado River for like 100 years, and that river's going away slowly but surely because too many people, too much water being taken out, not enough water going in. You know, it's like so this is already kind of happening. And a guy actually predicted this like in the 1800s, and just nobody cared because it was too expensive to fix. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
People, honestly, I feel like a lot of people actually know problems are happening, but when you
Well,
tell,
that's
when you
just
tell,
it.
but
Some
I'm
of
saying when
these
you tell
books
someone
were written.
when you tell someone the price tag, that's when it becomes a problem, right? Like if you're like, oh, we need to fix healthcare, then you go, oh, it's going to cost this, and then they go, oh man, I can't do it. Like what? Like we all know this is a problem, right? Like why can't we just fix the problem instead of kicking the can down the road and fucking waiting for someone else to do it?
How do we get somebody
Well, what I
smart
don't
in
understand
power
at
is
the end of the
so
day, what
annoying.
happens to those hospitals? They end up getting paid out anyways
Mm-hmm.
from our taxes. So we can either do this the right way and actually support everybody.
For sure. I don't know. And how do you get?
They don't need to up our taxes. They need to reevaluate where the money's going.
You know,
They won't need the bailouts if it's part of an overall system of healthcare.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, I was gonna say, you know, it'd be cool to do, which I don't think we could ever do per se, but like, we should have like, if you're gonna be like the Department of Agricultural like head, you should be like the smartest fucking farmer in the world, or kind of thing. Or like, if you're gonna be the Department of like Transportation, you better been working in that field for like 30. You better be the smart. Like that would be the best way, and we just never do it. We always.
I don't think there should ever be one dominant leader. I think there should always be a panel.
Sure. I mean to an extent that's kind of what the
That's the
absolutely.
only way to have
Absolutely.
like those barriers for bias.
Maybe some kind of like tiebreaker type, or I don't know,
something like that. Well, not so much a tiebreaker, but more so at least a panel so that you have people checking biases.
like
that is the key.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the.
But here's the thing: you can't get fucking smart people in this shit. That's what fucking pisses me off. People that actually give a fuck. Like this shit is so easy.
I think it's because they look at it and they're like, oh.
Well, mostly if you're a president,
I don't
you're
know.
gonna hire a cabinet, you're gonna fire your friends. That's the thing. They hire all the yes men instead of fucking people that are gonna push back and fucking tell them like.
It's like
that's
we've
a bad
only
idea.
had people that literally aren't even real in charge of this thing, basically. That's my view.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, in theory, what the president is that is like kind of the theory. You have the president, then you have his cabinet, which is like 15 people. They're supposed to be the checks and balances and in your like community-based kind of like thing. But like I said, the thing is, the presidents usually just hire yes men. So guess what? They're just going to agree with the president, right? Like,
I wish we could do that.
Like I said, I wish we go back to the old way where fucking. If you finish top 2 in the presidency, you get to be your vice president and president. So you have to work with a person that you don't like, because that's how you get actual like good issues and powers for everybody instead of just one side. Like I always think, like if Kamala was vice president, I guarantee Trump would not be doing as much crazy shit as he can do because she would be pushing back, and vice versa. You know, like.
Well, and I feel like JD Vance staying quiet about everything goes to show how much he's in the pockets of these elites, because
he was Peter Thiel's guy in the beginning.
Yeah, and he's all part of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's freaking friends with Soros and all those on the World Economic Forum.
There was another, I can't remember, somebody else was in one of those people. Everyone always talks shit about like the Bidens and all this shit. It's like, Have you ever seen these things? Like, your people are just as fucking corrupt, as horrible as anybody else. Like, kettle black, my guy, kettle black.
Have you not seen? Have you not seen the gay masonries that run your Republican Party? Like, let's
know.
get so fucking real right now.
True.
While they take away rights, yeah, okay.
Isn't it weird that Grinder always falls down when there's a big Republican gathering? Like, isn't that kind of weird to you guys? It always crashes. It always crashes when it's Charlie Kirk's death or when it's the Republican National Committee. You know, like, it just always. It's happened 3 times in a row, guys, and you guys act like you guys are not gay or whatever the fuck. It's like, stop it, please. Ugh.
And I don't mean that in a way like it's not okay to be gay. What I'm
No,
saying
none of us
is
are.
don't
Yeah.
actively push
Hypocrisy.
Yeah,
against
it's hypocrisy, and like I said, like you were saying earlier,
They're
you're taking away
signaling
rights.
like, I'm not gay, guys. Don't hate me.
It's the same as the people that are usually like anti-abortion. You'll find out they had an abortion.
Uh,
Like, oh wow.
They've had like 10.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, what's good for me is not good for thee. Okay, I got you. It's like,
Fucking tribalism, man. Like the thing that Patrick posted or said, I don't know, one time today, that it's been shown like a bajillion times we default to tribal behavior or whatever, and like
Mhm.
that's what we have to get beyond is the tribal
true.
shit.
Yeah, it's the us versus them.
And really, what it pisses me off even the most is some of these men who are so against abortion now wouldn't have never been against abortion like that. It's just because this party is
It's the Bible.
spewing
what's
that,
funny, it's
right?
not even the Bible though, because the Bible actually condones abortion, which is funny. That's why I always laugh when people use the Bible or God as the reason they hate abortion. It's like, no, your Bible says you can have an abortion. If the woman cheats on you and you think she's cheating, you give her this potion and she fucking has an abortion. What is that? Like,
And then isn't the latter part of that? Then you can accuse her and
yeah. Well, I'm
kill
saying
her or something like that.
In the beginning, you can accuse. Like I'm saying, like the man can literally just go, "Oh, I think she's like." You don't have to have any proof, no evidence. You don't have to show anything. Just go, "I think she's fucking another dude." All right, let's do this. Like, because obviously she had no rights. She
What
had no
is
say.
that passage in the Bible? It's if she passes the baby, then it wasn't yours, but if she keeps it, then it is, or something like that.
It's something about like your. I'll double check. It's Numbers 5. Hold on. Numbers 5. 11.
It's just crazy to me. Like I know this guy who, way back when I was still freshly out of high school,
Mm-hmm.
we were drinking at a party and whatever, an accident happened, and he was like saying, "I'll pay for an abortion," blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I never ended up pregnant, but
Yeah.
now he's like top of like the Montana Republican Party.
Oh wow.
What the fuck?
That's a crazy swing. And the thing is, it's like anything. How do you get someone to swing so far to the other side? Like, how are you forced?
Mental gymnastics.
It is. Right, it's a curse. And this is a law of jealousy. When one goes astray, it makes yourself impure while married to heaven. One feeling jealousy come from a man because he suspects his wife, the priest, is to have her stand by the Lord. Basically, at the end, the husband will be innocent of any doing, even if he wrongly accuses her, but the woman will bear the consequences of her sin forever, or something like that, it says. So even if the man says she cheated, she didn't, he's fine. Like, oh, he's cool. He did nothing wrong. He just thought she was cheating. Yeah, it says...
You should mandatorily have to say sorry.
Right. It says, if, however, the woman was not made impure, but is clean, she will be cleared of guilt and will be able to have children. Oh, how nice. They give her the right to have kids after that. But again, when people say the Bible or Jesus says don't do this, it's like, well, no, it's actually completely the opposite what the Bible says. Or like my favorite is when people try to fucking condone slavery in the Bible. Like, oh, wasn't that like what? It's you're owning another person. That is slavery, bro. They are property. It's like, have you ever called your neighbor your property? No, because they're not your slave. Like, come on now, it shouldn't be that hard of an issue.
Yeah. And then when you catch them on that point, they'll be like, well, there were some masters that worked that bad that they actually treated them like real people. I was like, that's not the point.
I know that is not
The point.
Right? Even if they do, cool, that's fine. Like that was a good person,
Yeah.
in general, but they're still a slave owner, right?
There's still
Like,
the fact that no, they're still people. They're people.
I'm talking about deceive the slave owner. Like that guy is still a slave owner. Like even if he treats him right,
Yeah.
and just, like he still thinks of you as his property. He doesn't think of you as another human. Like that's the issue.
And overall, the
Look at how
government still
bad this
sees
is,
you
man.
as whatever, not a full person. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
at the
that's
core of the
pretty
problem.
terrifying.
What were you saying, Patrick?
You can't just like sit there and run on the fact that one person did a good thing out of the many, but
Oh, for sure.
whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty terrifying. This whole idea that we actually tried to negotiate the amount that we consider a human to be a human with the 3/5
Yeah.
law.
The 3/5.
That was insane. I can't believe the 3/5 compromise. Like, how does the word compromise come up in this? Like, that just seems incredible to me. But
Yeah, that is
that's
incredible.
how we think now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude.
I mean, yeah, tribalism runs deep.
It fucking does, dude.
Yep.
It's been that way forever, though. It's always been us versus them. And I always try to stress people, like, why can't we all be one? Like, or like all be something? Like, why does it got to be us versus them?
Because they don't have words. I don't know, dude. Like, yeah, I think it literally just comes down to the words you fucking use and apply it to yourself and other people, right? Like mind, like the mind is a fucking like abstract thing, you know. Like to think about the mind as a natural thing.
Yeah.
Coming from like that religious perspective, like that's fucking huge. Like that changes everything. Like, oh, everybody's just got minds and they're in different bodies. Oh my god, I'm fucking retarded. Like everybody's got the same thing I'm going through right now, but they're just in different bodies. Oh my god, you know,
or just
like
different
dude,
situations.
people like literally that's like how asleep I think people are. Like they really just don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, and they're just saying shit and I mean, not everybody. I'm talking about like worst case, but you know. But even then, like even with like the good people you have at work or whatever, like they're still in a way kind of retarded, and it's not on them because they don't realize like how fucking smart we gotta be to like beat this shit. I don't know.
It's a fine line. I think some people do deserve blame because, like I tell people, like if you give someone an article or something to research to like better themselves and they choose not to, well, it's hard to not blame them now at that point. Like, dude, I gave you the tools, I gave you the instructions. Like, if you watched this, you read this, you would be 4% smarter. I guarantee it. And they just go, nah.
People don't have confidence in their intelligence. Like that's just what it all comes down to.
I think it's a lot of it's just laziness. I think like people.
A lot of it, yeah, laziness too.
Yeah, I don't want to read. That's boring. That's this. Like, and they're right to an extent, but it's like what, your brain's a thing. You got to fucking use it. It's like a muscle. It's like
there's a certain point I think with philosophy that it just completely transforms you. Like, and like CBT and all that shit. Like Patrick will fucking say, like
it will transform you so long as you have proper goal orientation.
Yep.
Once your goals go out the window, then it dissolves. And I can speak from experience on that one.
I think that's
that makes sense. Lack of attractor.
Well, I mean, it's like the skill. You still watch yourself do it. Like the metacognition stays there. There's one person that put up a meme that said they were complaining about how CBT didn't work for them, and they just said, "Great, now I'm just hyper aware of my own thoughts. Thanks, CBT." And it's like, yeah, that's kind of that's what it feels like at first, but then you start working it, and you start forming a relationship with your brain and mind.
View is weird, right? Because it's almost like anti-self in a way, right? It's like,
which is what
like
in
totally rational.
Yeah, like Western psychology is really encouraging that lack of selfhood, I think, and the movie Inside Out, both Inside Out and Inside Out 2, they kind of avoid the concept of the self altogether, and mind, and the self in the mind. There's one scene in the second one where they actually have the mind police, and all the emotions are just running around trying to avoid the mind police. So that's fun. Anyways, I can read a thing if y'all want to make this even more depressing.
Go
There's
for it.
something written on we're talking about. Okay, I'll try not to get too deep into this. The most harrowing quality of the human condition is the ease by which man views one member of his species as the pinnacle of creation and another as a means to an end.
Yeah.
Vast belief systems and philosophies have built upon the branchings of what we now call animism and utilitarianism. Thousands of years ago, we were forced to decide whether to view our fellow humans and organisms as beasts of burden or as fellow valued members of the planet with awareness, emotion, even intention and spirit. But this was too much to ask. Our animalistic side evolved far before ethics and reason. Unconscious biases developed early on, along with tribalism and its underlying neurochemistry and insular cortex responses. We're only now realizing this. Until very recently, we made slaves of any organism that eases the brain and body's endless quest for the path of least resistance and satiates the ego's craving for control and status. And today, these qualities show their dark teeth in the interpretations of the physical sciences and their application to biology and human behavior. And I kind of got into a thing about the mechanistic meat machine interpretations of how we go about science and how we go about understanding other people too, because we kind of had the meat machine narrative going on with what Hitler was doing and the eugenics projects that they were trying to take on with that concentration camps, because that was the same idea. That's what Descartes was doing when he did experiments on live animals, because he thought that they weren't actually feeling anything. They thought that the barking and yelping they did was just like a bell ringing or something, is what he described.
Really?
And it's so like that still exists in us. We still have this capacity to just wholly default to the worst possible interpretation of mechanistic causality. And so there's that quality that underlies the tendency towards slavery and the tendency towards viewing other people as less than. And there's also this whole problem of animism and like the split between the philosophies a few thousand years ago that we've talked about in the past. This idea that animals and all the creatures in the world have spirit and they're never to be considered a beast of burden, but the external pressures of convenience and
Oh shit.
the rise of agriculture, they kind of pushed us to make that choice. And nobody really made that choice. It was very cultural, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And the Western cultures just tended to use the ox as like they yoked the ox, and that set things off in that direction. And then some of the Eastern cultures, like what you see in Ahimsa Jainism and a lot of the animist religions, the theologies and philosophies are more. They bestowed the spirit onto the animal, and literally in the Christian Bible, there's no such thing as an animal with a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my parents too. When I was a kid, we watched All Dogs Go to Heaven,
Yep.
the cartoon movie, and they're like, "Just want to clarify, this is not actually how it works. No, dogs do not go to hell." Thanks,
That's funny.
thanks, guys.
It's kind of mean, dude. What the fuck? I don't. Yeah. I remember we were talking about that before. I was thinking maybe a lot of our nihilism was tied to like viewing the lives of animals as like, sort of like automatons.
Well, you got to
Like-
think like all religion people back in the day, they all said that animals serve humans, right? So like they were literally brought up thinking
Yeah.
that animals are only here to make our lives better,
That's
easier,
like-
whatever. Food, you know.
That's the only way that mechanical view of life comes in, right? Like that's the way it emerges, and then it gets applied to us.
Or it's like creation myth based, where the animals are put here for our amusement and pleasure.
Yep.
That's what.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
that's
think,
it.
too.
Yeah.
But getting back to what
That,
you're
that's what I
saying,
mean, though. Yeah.
I was
I'm just saying,
thinking
like
back to what
that's
Patrick was saying. Fucking like,
what justifies
think about
that.
like
Yeah.
humans. Like how much easier is it for humans to go from a good mood to a bad mood? It seems like it's fucking really simple, but it's really fucking hard to go from a bad mood to a good mood, right? And I think that's kind of intertwined.
Yeah, man, it's
where
called
like we're,
negativity bias.
what was that?
It's negativity bias. That's like the foundations of what people call negativity bias.
Mhm.
Is what you just described.
Yeah, but to me, it's like, but why is it so much easier to do that though? Like I don't. I think it's most humans. Most humans.
I would think because the source of your distress hasn't been removed. Maybe I don't know.
It's got to be an ancient survival mechanism.
That's what I'm
It's-
getting at because I'm saying what
it's-
Patrick
it's
said was
far more
reminding me of
dangerous.
that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I think like ancient humans, like because you're saying we're so tribalistic and shit like that, like anytime we saw somebody else, we had to fucking put down our good face. Like we could be having a dinner, whatever the fuck, having a good time, and all of a sudden another group comes in that we don't know, and whatever. Guess what? We drop our shit. We get ready to war. We gotta fucking flip that switch, and that's I think just doing that for fucking millennia and shit like that is kind of triggered us to have that same brainwave even today. It's like a part of us still.
It's probably many hundreds of thousands of years, like going back to when we were chimps or apes.
Yeah.
What kind of apes we were. I mean, this. So the negativity bias is also seen in social comparison, where you have, like in the movie The Social Dilemma, the little girl is scrolling on her phone and she posted a picture of herself with some image edits or whatever, thanks to Instagram, and she got 9 compliments, and then the 10th comment was somebody making fun of her ears and saying they look like elephant ears, and of course she hyperfixates on that one negative comment, opposed to the 9 other ones that are complimentary. So that's, I mean, yeah, we're constantly worrying about those kind of things until we're taught otherwise, and even then you have to kind of,
you have to think about it.
you have to put in practice, like you have to think about it and put in new practices in your philosophy, unless you do psychedelics and shoot your way through it.
True. Yeah.
But that's everywhere. Negativity biases,
It's
it
huge.
underlies nihilism, it underlies cynicism and apathy, and the defensiveness, like the ego defense. I have a video on it that I did. It actually performed really well on my channel a few months ago.
Oh yeah.
Negativity bias. Because apparently everybody's experiencing it. It's something that resonates, which is lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing to notice, dude. I wonder if there, I don't know, man. I'm so stuck on the Lacan fucking triad of imaginary, symbolic, and real. Just seems right. And then I need to dive into the rest of his work.
Wait, who? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Lacan, Jacques Lacan.
Yeah, man, I need to do that too. Do you have any lectures or books that I should read?
No, I don't have shit. I need to read it because it seems like, I mean, I think the man produced a lot of shit.
So
that is probably right or in the neighborhood.
Right.
And
Yeah, from what I've
I don't
seen,
know.
looks pretty
I feel like there's like some sort of semiotic aspect of things that ties everything together. You know, I love that. Like, there's so much depth to the subject,
To every
consciousness.
subject.
No, like the subject, like you're like I don't know, sort of like the self and consciousness, and not necessarily just consciousness, but like also the way it's organized, I would say. The way content is organized and the way the self is constituted, I guess. And that's like kind of what I was saying is like we are either symbolized, as something that can be understood through language, like in terms of our context of being ourselves in society and what society says is good and bad, so on and so forth, or and I think that symbolic image is behind like the almost every mental illness, basically. Like and that's like basically to me narcissistic. If you're like focused on that image, like that false image that's projected of you, in a sense, like that's kind of narcissism.
To an extent, yeah.
And it seems like there's so many fucking ways that people associate with narcissism. Like, the person that's got a big ego, or they're not even big ego, but like,
well, narcissism is part of the human experience. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't mean that somebody's truly narcissistic, but we all have narcissistic tendencies.
That's
for sure.
But like, I was trying to I think it is all about that image, though, that isn't you. It isn't the experience that brought on an action or an achievement or whatever that, I don't know, whatever thing you do that you think people are going to think you're great for. Like, it wasn't to be great that you did that or whatever. It's like everything that led up
or
to
love
that,
or whatever
like
you
it's
call it.
a lot of real engagement with content and like reality and stuff, right?
Yeah, the reason that you want to do things is to benefit others while benefiting yourself.
And it
I think
like
that's the safe
negate
statement.
well, right, but like some people will, achieve because it, undoes some dark part of themselves or whatever.
Or it could be that
Yeah.
climbing that successful ladder introduces you to new pools of people that you're spending time around, thus changes your mind and perception on how you should be.
And like yeah, and
Like you're competing to be with the influencers as well, so you would have to adapt.
they use their image as like an entry ticket. Like that's kind of what I'm getting at. Or like, they get praise, they get confidence to then whatever be some great person they think they are with people they think are great. Or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, ego, I think is a useful word to use when it's like when we're talking about slightly narcissistic or narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah.
When I hear that, I just think egotism, because we have the word egotism, and I don't see people using that word very much anymore. It's mostly just
I feel like
narcissism.
it's like for me, like I've been trying to get clarity on what the ego is, like I guess it kind of has momentum, it has direction.
Self-obsession. I mean, that's what I usually call it, is self-obsession or being overly concerned about one's own priorities as opposed to those of others.
I also feel like that's narcissism, but then people are taking narcissism to, be like an expressive
has
thing.
a negative connotation. So even if you're talking
People
about like
find it
the self
annoying.
stuff, it's not going to be viewed as a positive light just because of the word.
Well, so the pathological aspect of narcissism most people think is that when you try to tell them about it, they can't possibly understand what you're talking about. They always dodge it.
Well, then
It
there's the
seems
word
like it's
arrogance as well.
Yeah,
Sorry.
arrogance comes into play there too.
They're
Absolutely.
basically in mass society. I feel like those two words are basically synonymous. They're the same. Like if you were to call someone a
seems like
narcissist,
You
you
think
just say
you're
they're
better than
egotistical or
people.
whatever.
Yeah. Like that right there. Like if you just think you're better than people or you project that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like nobody can ever tell you different. That's where you see pathological narcissism. But again, I want to say that that's not something we should pathologize at all. If anything, we got to be extremely wary of that because we don't want people to. We talked about this in the polymath group last week. It's this idea that if anything is important in life, it's your ability to portray your best self and introspect and reform yourself via attention, via the way that you direct attention.
Mm-hmm.
So we also talked about this idea that attention is your greatest resource in life, and yeah, if you can't direct your attention inward, then you're no better than your animal counterparts. It seems like that's a safe statement. That's really sad if that's the case.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a case of that. I don't think that's actually because the Homo erectus had to do that, and Homo sapien had to do that to stay in the tribe. They had to use communication, some kind of semiotic symbol system, to use those words, like some kind of symbolic representation to recognize that, oh shit, I'm fucking up in the tribe. I have to reflect on what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Use this cognitive refresh or whatever, like replay the opinions and do better in the future. That
Nerds
can't be
like
something
us,
that's gone.
Nerds like us, we do not signal tribal membership. We are being guided by something that is it's extra tribal. So I would feel like that is kind of morality, I guess, in a way. Wouldn't morality be something that's? I mean, it's obviously woven into the tribe as well, but I mean, maybe morality is something that's necessarily extra tribal. I don't know.
Morality is extra tribal. I've never heard the term extra tribal before.
I just used it. I don't know. I don't know if it's.
We're making up words as we go, bro.
That's a really cool concept. I'm definitely gonna have to remember that. Extra tribal behavior and choice.
Yeah, my mouth words are doing good today.
Man, I'm trying to live stream. Did y'all see me? I'm trying to play the new Hollow Knight Silk Song. It is so fun.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna check
playing?
you out.
The new Hollow Knight Silk Song.
No.
It's harder than the first one, and the first one was already pretty damn hard, but this is extremely fun. I just can't talk while I'm streaming. Stupid.
It is tough. That's why I play Risk, because I don't gotta think. I just play the game. It's simple.
Yeah, it's like precision platforming where every frame counts and every pixel counts. Yeah. Kind of. I mean, it's not that extreme except for some boss fights. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, sounds like
My alcoholic uncle one day said, life, sum that bitch up, or like sum the bitch up or whatever. I'm like, I always like kind of return to that. Like, what best sums up life? Like, what can we? What is the slogan?
What sums up life?
Yeah.
That's a good
yeah, I
question.
find myself asking those questions too, and I get overwhelmed by it. But it is really fun. It's hard not to ask them.
The thing is, they're great questions because there's no right answer. So like, you can see somebody's mindset or how they think or feel just by the way they ask. That's kind of like when I talk to new people. Like if I talk to someone on like Reddit and I get them to come on stream or whatever the fuck, I usually ask them the first thing like, if you had a magic wand, you can do anything. What would you change or what would you do in this world? Just to see, it just basically lets me know what they care about, what they think. You know, because you can see like they talk about healthcare. Oh, they probably care about people. They care about this. And they talk about like military shit or kicking the immigrants out. Like, oh, you care about this. Okay, you know, you kind of get a good feel of people just by that simple question.
Yeah.
What are your priorities? What's your axioms?
Yep. Yeah. I'm saying it's a quick, easy way to kind of understand where the other person's coming from. It's not going to give you 100%, obviously, but it'll give you like a general synopsis of how they think or feel.
Yeah,
I feel like this shit isn't that hard, man. The fuck.
I
Then
think
again,
so. Because
I'm
if you
36.
like, the main
How
axiom
old?
that we all need to proceed with is human kindness and
You know, human
compassion,
prosperity.
empathy.
That's what I like to call it. Human prosperity. Let's all prosper. If we
Like
can,
if you,
if I can make money and my neighbor can make money, that's better than me just making money, right? Like it's not that hard.
yeah,
Or
it's
just anything. You know, it could
already
be.
unethical. Yeah, yeah. People, when I talk to people and their conclusions lead to the harm of other people in any way,
Yeah.
I just don't know how you get to that point without realizing how you've lost a major factor there that needs to be accounted for.
Yeah.
I mean, that's progress. You know.
Mm-hmm. I kind of use that talking point to this one chick on Facebook. She was talking to me something. I was like, you know what? You're giving up your morality in order to like systematically throw like black brown people in jails and shit, like all this shit. Like, do you not realize like it's not just that you're agreeing with the policy. Like your morality is being shifted right now. Where now you don't care about these people. Like like you're getting at. You think that these people are less than you, right? Like that's the mindset you should not be having because they're just people. You're
Yeah,
not better than them or anything. You know, like
they're sacrificing morality for ideology.
yep,
Is what it sounds like.
that is what it is. Because like I say, you know, like if you talk to people, you go, "Oh, should you do this?" They would say, "No, that's horrible. You should never do this." But then now, if you make it a policy or a political thing, they totally 180 flip and they go, "Oh no, we should get rid of it, undo all these." Like what? No, like it should be the same morality, no matter if it's this. You know, like
Yeah.
It's just every time you're making a decision, you always have to ask yourself, how can I harm the least amount of people? And if you're not doing that, then you're going to be defaulting to tribalism or racism, some kind of exclusionary narrative and ideology.
Yeah, tribalism is the big thing though, because you're part of your group, right? Your group says this is cool, you probably think it's cool, right? And vice versa, all that kind of shit.
So there are different kinds of tribalism. I was talking about this with a friend a couple years ago. She told me about the Stanford dictionary, or there's a Stanford online dictionary that you can access that has really good definitions of this. Let's see here. It's got like 8 or 10 different definitions or types of tribalism. Multiculturalism, in-group favoritism.
Yeah, I see there's sports tribalism, political, social media, cultural, subcultural, workplace, and school, cliques, nationalism versus and wars, religious conflicts, racism, genocides. These are all forms of
Yeah, I got
and like none of them are good. Like if you think
cultural
about it,
affiliation. Yeah.
Tribalism, all tribalism does is gives you safety. And I always go to the Benjamin Franklin. If you go up your freedom for security, you're gonna get neither nor. So like, if we keep staying tribalistic to be safe because of whatever, you're in the end you're not gonna be safe, and you're not gonna get you're gonna lose your morality or whatever you call it. You know, like it's just a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, I got political tribalism, ethnic or racial tribalism, social tribalism, family and friend tribalism, in-group loyalty, out-group hostility, cultural affiliation.
I
It sure is
forgot
cool that we can identify all these problems, but what do we do about them?
Patrick wants to be immortal.
Patrick, you want to
What?
be immortal?
Oh my god. Man, I think I've had about enough, gentlemen, but lady, sorry. Who else on this Discord at the moment? Yeah, I don't know. It seems I've considered doing the cryogenic freezing, and that does seem to be the most promising route.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to I want to see what happens, but I also don't want to live forever. But there's also this whole thing of where you say that, and then somebody gives you the pill that allows you to live forever. Are you really going to be able to say no to that? You know, that's kind of.
Yep. Oh, we were
What
talking
do you
about
what do you go do as soon as you're immortal? You know what I mean? Like,
I kind of use the thing. The reason why the only reason why life means anything now is because it's finite. Because like if you have infinite amount of anything, I feel like it's probably not going to be good.
Yeah.
Like long term, especially.
That's an ancient philosophy too. Yeah.
That's the way I try.
A lot of people.
I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't want infinite. I mean, I don't know. I'd want to at least sleep. I mean, is that what's gonna happen anyways? We're just gonna sleep for a while and then we're gonna come back. I don't know.
Who knows? But yeah, they're fun.
I don't
They're
know.
fun thought experiments or whatever experiments.
It's very hard to even attempt to prove.
What is the one way to describe it? Yeah.
What?
I mean, if I get woken up, like Futurama makes it look like it's pretty fun, but there are ways that you could get woken up from cryogenic freezing where it wouldn't be optimal.
Yeah.
Offloading yourself to a computer as well doesn't seem
That's how I think.
like I'm scared of there's got to be some kind of syndrome that people are going to develop when they pull them out of the cryogenic freezing. And I know I'm going to be one of the cheap bastards that says, "Yeah, just put me in one of the cheap tubes and then like pull me out whenever it costs me less to be pulled out." I'm probably going to be one of those people who gets fucked up from it in some way, but whatever.
First thing you hear when the door opens, "Hey, boy!"
Hey, boy.
Oh man.
Oh, MAGA took over.
Here's your
the world.
assignment.
Huh?
Here's your work list for the week. It's 85 hours a week, and here's your supplements that allow you to only sleep for 2 hours a night. And no, they're not perfected, but here they are.
Oh no, dude, that would be so bad.
It'd be so funny.
There has to be some TV show with a bad, unfreezing scenario.
You know, if not, we can make one right now.
Yeah. Fucking.
There's been plenty of shows that have done that. Star Trek did some episodes about that.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Well, that's all like inner space though. It's not. Well, I guess they had the one dude. I mean, but they had a good unfreezing though. Right? You know, I'm thinking of the one guy, who was in The Patriot or whatever. Yeah, he was unfrozen. He was like that one.
His name is Isaac something.
No. Fuck. He was like one of Mel Gibson's friends.
Okay.
You know, I just remember.
I know what you're talking about. I think.
The guy with like the mole that isn't brown.
Yep. I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was in that episode. He was like one of the guys that was unfrozen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so one of the guys was like, "Yeah, what do you know? It actually worked." When he woke up, and he's like, "Yeah, my wife just bought us a couple of these things, and I don't know. I said, screw it, let's see what happens. What do you know?"
It worked.
I love that dude's attitude.
It's like so cavalier about immortality. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like
so
I find myself thinking like impermanence terrifies me, and as a Westerner, I find it hard to transcend. I've had psychedelic experiences many times where I've come close to ego death and
ego death.
but I haven't actually like really crossed over. Like I haven't died on psychedelics, and I feel like if I die on psychedelics, that would probably be a lot easier. That's what everybody else seems to be, including that have been raised in Western culture with this whole ideology of Ubermensch. Like your goal in life is to do personal transcendence, and it's all about continuing ever onward and upward, get better and better and better. Whereas in the East, it's about acceptance and embracing the void instead of staring into the abyss and challenging the abyss like Nietzsche encourages. It's embracing the abyss. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's too late. I am 36 and I don't want to fuck with psychedelics like I used to.
Is
So
there too late? I don't know, dude. Like I get these. Do you ever get like the fucking thing where it's like it's like a thing that starts in your chest and then it starts to radiate outward, and it's like my ego catches it and then it stops. Like it's just like a fucking just lightning
oh
bolt.
yeah,
Probably on
like
shrooms.
Blitz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I've had out of body experiences
So
many
am I on
times.
shrooms.
Yeah,
Yeah. With
like
acid and
that
shit.
doesn't seem like that's not utter darkness and complete dissolving of selfhood, because you still have a self, you still have consciousness that's floating around.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever done a fucking what's it called? Sensory
I'm
deprivation
gonna
chamber?
try to get. I'm gonna try to
Yeah,
hit ego death
I like those. That
natty.
was pretty
And
fucking.
I've been.
I've done that shit
I
at
know I'm
home.
definitely close,
Mm-hmm.
or I've been close before.
Not the water shit, but at
Yeah.
home, just
The
ice
water,
it.
like I said, eventually all you have is a face. So like all you do is sit there with your whole consciousness, and it kind of feels like you're floating, like literally in space. It's fucking crazy, actually. I enjoyed it, but it's you sit there and you're lost in your own brain for fucking an hour. Like some people it's scary, not to me, but because I said I don't mind doing that. But some I've talked to people that are like, I could never do that. It's like you have to though. You have to learn
you have
to see
to. My
within
God,
yourself and shit like
yeah.
that. You got to know yourself like all the way.
Oh, you have to. You have to be in tune with your senses. That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing.
True.
Like you're deprived. You're trying to pretty much
Otherwise, you're
give
avoiding.
your nervous system a hard reset.
Yep.
And in order for you to do that, you need to desensitize your system.
Mm-hmm.
You need to deprive yourself of external stimulation. It's the only way you're going to be aware of it or become aware of it,
Yep.
of how you're changing.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can do the opposite and do extreme sensory intense activities for short periods, like cold showers.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
but
that's more aimed
how is
at
that going to help?
that's like your sympathetic. Yeah, that's more aimed at
Because that's gonna
your
trigger.
parasympathetic.
Yeah, exactly.
I should
And
say
I mean,
that's more aimed at your parasympathetic, not your nervous system.
the parasite, or yeah, exactly. So you do both.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Because
if you're
when
not,
you
then
retire-
you're losing everything. You're losing yourself
Yeah.
as a human. If you don't go to those depths. If you can't sit alone in a dark closet for 5 minutes, then
Mm-hmm.
you're really missing out. That's
You're-
not my quote. I forgot who said that, but
Well, you're
people
mentally
can't
weak.
sleep by themselves.
That's what I call it. You're just mentally weak. Like you literally can't do it because you're whatever. Like, dude, that's pretty weak. Like you got to be able to rise up over that shit. Like it shouldn't. It's hard maybe in the beginning, but like as you go, like it gets easier. You know, like fuck.
Because otherwise, you're avoiding it, and you
Yep.
can't just spend your whole life avoiding your emotions and avoiding your inner self that you don't want to address.
Think about it like this, like, dude, like you have cancer, right? Like you can't just fucking avoid it and do nothing. Like you have to, like change your diet. You got to do something. Like, and that's kind of what it is. Like if you can't fucking sit alone, like you're literally just sitting there and you can't do this. Like you have to. It's one of these things. Like it's a good thing. It's gonna help you out in the future, and it literally does nothing.
Like you technically don't, because you're not going to die. You're not going to die of cancer. You can go by. You can make it through life, frenetic and extremely erratic, but just enough to get by to where you don't really perceive it as extremely detrimental. It's just kind of a detrimental that everybody else kind of semi-jokingly talks about and complains about. So we kind of all are in our misery loves company situation, and then it's kind of expected in the culture. Then you just spend your whole life strung out, basically, but not too, like, just on the edge of pathologically strung out, where because everybody else is telling you that it's normal, or they're insinuating that you don't address it.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing here, I think.
Hmm.
A lot of cases.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like a lot.
Said
of
I think
I
twice.
think we as people in general like just to kick the cans down the road instead of fucking just solving. Like we all know there's problems and stuff. We just rather just push it off and push it off and push it off and act like it's gonna get solved, but it's not the way the world works. Things just don't solve themselves. You have to like consciously go after it and fix the issue, whatever the fuck it is. Could be personal life, could be family life, it could be work life, whatever the fuck. Like, never have
So
you
much
just sat
shit to
there
juggle.
and yeah, it is a lot. That's where that goes back to, like I said, people are just lazy. Where people just they do their shit, right? I do my normal shit. I just want to go home, watch TV for an hour, go to bed. Like, I don't have time to think about things or do, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like staying constantly stimulated. That was the other thing I meant to say. Sorry, I'm kind of
Oh,
tired.
you're all right. Yeah, dude. We are totally.
Yeah,
And
we don't have time
like,
to do that.
And I'm guilty too.
People
Like,
can't think more deeply without the words, without the fucking context, without the. It's like if somebody just opens up like I don't know, philosophy Wikipedia or some shit. They don't know what the fuck's going on, like they don't understand that that's like a region of thought that can occur. Like, oh no, these things are questions that have answers that correspond to reality, that thing that we all are in all the time. It's like it's relevant to you.
Yeah.
But they don't see the connection to the practical side of life. That's always been the problem with philosophy. It's never connected, but it does connect.
Mm-hmm. It's
People don't
abstract.
see
Have you
it. It
guys
helps
ever
you
thought
think.
about reverse engineering and thinking?
Reverse engineering thinking?
Yeah, like your thoughts. Reverse engineering something. So, like, instead of someone consuming the information and filtering it through their own internal framework, you reverse engineer the information. Have you guys ever mess with that at all? You guys familiar with it?
Engineering.
It's instead of
When you say engineering, so I know like cognitive reframing and reflection and all that, but it sounds like you're talking about there's a part of you that's engineering / constructing or creating these thoughts, and you want to uncreate or unconstruct or examine the way that you
I'll
created
call
them.
it You're basically
Yeah,
deconstructing your
so
thoughts, right? Is that basically what you're getting at?
yeah, it's the process of reverse engineering. You're instead of taking a thought and building it, well, you are building it too. It's kind of paradoxical.
Mm-hmm.
Is you're going to the end point and breaking it down that way. So you're technically thinking in reverse.
Sorry, let's say let's say like you're like my thought process is abortion's bad. Okay, right? So then you're saying like, are you deconstructing like, okay, like why is abortion bad because of this, and you come up instead of going opposite way where you read all these facts and then at the very end you go, oh, that's bad or that's good. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like stress testing a system.
Okay.
So instead of asking
Chain of
filtering it, you're
justification.
asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every question breaks down the original structure of thought you're thinking of.
I mean, I guess I think I've probably done that. Maybe without even noticing it.
Yeah, so you're familiar with
yeah.
divergent versus convergent thinking?
Well, I'm saying I try to
I
use that
probably
same
do it
thought process
unconsciously.
to find out if I believe what I like, my conviction level. Like, if I think this is good, right, I'll try to like debunk the thought process in order to prove or show that my actual original thought was correct or whatever, So like, I feel like I've done it without doing it. I guess you know what I'm saying.
I don't think I ever don't know where a thought is sourced from. Kind of.
Mm.
You might know, yeah, but you can know where it's coming from, but you don't. But have you ever I guess his point is like, have you ever gone backwards where it's like, I don't know, like I said, pick anything. Like this is my favorite team, and you go, why? Oh, because of this. Kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
Like reverse it. So like your thought, you start with the end thought, whatever the fuck it is, and then you kind of like show why it's true, false, whatever the fuck, backwards.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think
It's kind of odd because it's almost like
really well.
it's a distortion in your thinking. It's not linear thinking.
Yeah,
it's the opposite.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
not
makes
going to say
confusing.
it's the opposite of linear. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm more lateral. I don't know. I make leaps, and I always know when I'm right. Like I always, yeah. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know.
I know it's a tough question, so I'm trying to think of it too.
It's not an easy thing to do. I'm curious if you guys thought about that, or at least attempted to try to do it. I mean, that's what really allows you to be able to shift perspectives. because you're you're forcing yourself out of the linear way of thinking. Because when you're trying to look at things from the end point and working your way down to the beginning, you have to go through the variables first. So you're not going through what you already know. You're going through, okay, well, just like you were saying earlier about the questions.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, the more complex the subject is, the questions are gonna vary
Yeah.
across
Mhm.
well, whatever realm you're in when you're thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I don't fucking know. Like I feel like I've done it, like I said, like maybe like unconsciously even, but
Yeah, people do it. That's the thing. People do it unconsciously,
mm-hmm.
but you can do it if you. I mean, for people it's different. Some people it's different. I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. I
Is there
don't
something I'm
like.
not doing from
I don't think
what we were talking
linearly.
about earlier? I don't
So
know.
like you guys think linearly naturally, right? I don't. I don't even like I can see that there's a linear, I guess, focus to it, but it's like my brain picks up immediately and I'm already reverse engineering the idea of whatever I'm thinking about. So like all the linear
Mhm.
stuff I skip. I don't know.
What are you defining as linear?
Linear thinking.
Like straightforward thinking, I'm guessing is what he means.
No,
Like,
linear. It's called linear thinking.
like you're talking about like proceeding from premises, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're pretty much thinking from what you know.
There's parts of me that I don't know, dude. I'm all over the fucking map. Because I'll, like I'll jump to a conclusion, but I also want to have a,
Sound,
breadcrumb trail.
you
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with when you're trying to memorize. It's easy to memorize some. Well, I'm not gonna say it's easy to memorize, but it's when you're in linear thinking, you're memorizing information. I don't memorize information. I don't even try to. The only thing I do is consume.
I
If I
would
remember,
say there's very few things that I remember intentionally. There's certain things where I'll be like, Brandon, you gotta remember this, but otherwise everything comes in through
Mhm.
association. Because everything's kind of just like burning hot all the time. Just yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have ADD most likely, so
Uh,
I'm scatterbrained as fuck. So like,
I don't relate with my thoughts the the way I used to. Basically, I would say. Like, I think I've reclaimed more of my being than I am aware that I did. Maybe during this
maybe yeah.
fucking period of my life. I don't know.
So, are
Just
you
like
guys familiar with convergent versus divergent thinking?
convergent versus divergent, yeah.
You talked about it before. Yeah, one thing about me is, I like clear definitions. I love definitions, and
Mhm.
well, I mean, I don't love it because I feel like I read some of my posts and I'm like, fuck, dude, I was kind of sloppy here. Like I didn't really, because I don't know, dude. There's different parts of myself that I still have to like recover. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, like I used to be
You see
more
the thing.
precise,
You see that what you
more
just said to
meticulous.
yourself.
What?
That's exactly what you need. That's the thing that sits in the background. It's like background noise, right?
Yeah.
That's what pretty much keeps you in your place. It's gonna tell you,
Mhm.
hey, this is good, but it's not that good. It's your mind already picking
Yeah.
up the next pattern on how to evolve the structure of what you created.
Right.
That
I
is
have
it's a
to.
specific process.
This is a hard subject too, because it's like basically I'm taking semiotics and trying to replace like physicalism with that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like there's gonna be like so many contradictions and shit that you have to fuck with to like
Isn't
really
that what?
establish, or you have to
Semiotics
like
can be paired
remove
with
the
semantics.
physical.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Then that's why I
it,
think like everything kind of is just communication, but and potentially mind or fucking uh
Isn't that what
consciousness or
Neoplatonism
whatever.
is
But
about?
I don't know. I do not know if Neoplatonism is more semiotic focused, but
Yeah, because
Neoplate.
I
it's
think it is
breaks
absolutely
down time.
consistent though.
Let's
I
see.
We're looking at something that is, I think, remarkably simple, And then we have to connect it. We have to connect it to fucking theoretical physics. That's where we have to. That's gonna be a big struggle. Is like, all right, are fields like consistent with, you know?
Yeah, you
I
kind of
kind of
get to
think
you
so.
can get to the math if you get down to mathematics or the complex mathematics, like anything from category theory, complex plane, uh, algebraic. I think it's algebraic something. I can't remember the last part of it, but you start to see that same exact pattern where it kind of diverges from that linear way of thinking, and it gets to the point where your mind becomes so overloaded that you have to shift the perspective. It's what you guys are talking. Well, Patrick said earlier about the ego death. That's essentially it right there. You're pushing that boundary, and when your mind collapses at that point where it's almost like, think about it as a live simulated burnout, right? You're going through your thinking until you hit that brick wall, and now you're like trying to find something that fits this idea of whatever you're trying to create, right? Well, there's a tension within that. So the more you push it and the more you sit with it, your brain gets used to the tension that you're feeling. It's the same way that you can push yourself through specific tolerance externally, right? Let's say you want to, let's say a person just starts writing, right? And they write one paragraph and that was completely exhausting to them. Well, that tolerance that forces, or that tolerance that it takes to push to writing 2 paragraphs, that's the same tension that you would feel internally. The only difference is that you're not seeing it. So the only thing is since you're not seeing it, you're feeling it. So you're pretty much waiting for your what is this? I guess your body to calibrate to what it's feeling. Sensitive to your
Yeah,
senses.
I'm trying to realize exactly who I am, and I'm like a fucking, like, I don't even know how to. I'm like a leviathan, dude. It's fucking so
You're a griffin.
annoying, and I can't
Mhm.
fucking fully express myself in reality. It's fucking so dumb.
Sure,
So
you
it's
can.
like I'm
Using the
gonna have
word
a
fully,
fucking.
like
It's
that's
hard because I don't have good people, and it's like, dude, like I literally get so trapped in my own fucking head, and it's like people don't even know who the fuck I am.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if people know who the fuck you are, because you'll never know who the fuck you are. It seems that I'm going to start speaking. I know what I'm talking about here. Just bear with me.
More
So,
expression, I feel like. I mean, of course I won't, but
no,
I just mean like better, more than this image that gets imposed on me because like this is the only level people can see me at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what fucks me up, and it's like it's fucking so dumb. I'm literally forced to be like a fraction of what my potential is, and it fucking drives me crazy. And nobody else can see it. And if I say I have a hell of a lot of potential, I look like a fucking narcissist. So it's like, okay,
Not
cool,
everybody,
man.
but everyone has
This is fucking
potential.
American culture. It's fucking
I know.
insane to me.
Yeah,
It actually
this is
pisses me off. I think everybody's fucking retarded because they can't
Mhm.
just see through this stupid little shroud.
yeah. This is the same thing I've been going through too, man. It's like a problem of the curse of knowledge and of having too many talents and too many potentials. And Irvin Yalom listed this as one of the existential givens is freedom. He just called it freedom. I call it freedom overwhelm, which overlaps with FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yep.
There's all these
Yeah.
possibilities of where I could have been. I could have been a musician. Could have been. I write
Yep.
really good music, and a lot of
Yeah.
people compliment music, and I write really good essays, and a lot of people tell me I need to pursue that, and I'll do well with a YouTube channel, and people tell me I need to do that, and it's like, all right, I got the feedback from all these people, but I still don't know who I am.
I
And
think
at
the
some point,
ego is
you gotta embrace it, man. You gotta embrace that unknown, and just roll with the skills that you have, and trust the process. And then you have to ask, well, what is the process? And fuck, so now we're back to like, all right, let's re-examine this process over and over and over again. Well, I mean, there is no perfect process, so you have to have faith, I guess. And you have to trust that. Like that's what we're trusting.
What am I trying to say? I don't know. Like I've kind of
With the
gone
acceptance
through
too.
that like Ubermensch route for sure, and
Yeah,
for
that's what I'm
me,
saying.
it's all
Like,
psychological, and it's all about it's not about like, I shouldn't even say ego. It's like the ego is just like a defense thing.
Just
It's not
self.
even.
it's
It's like a
destiny. It's
cushion,
Just
destiny.
call it yourself. It's like yourself. Like you're.
right? But I don't know.
It's
Like
not
I
even
broke
self.
my
It's
ego
like
down so fucking far, and then like
I think of it as destiny. You know, we use this term destiny, and we're obsessed with that too. Like we're taught this in school. Like, here's your path to success, and chart it out, and then someday you'll be a blank. And it's like, it's not that simple. I mean, it doesn't seem to work like that unless you go for a very simple path, or if you're one of the lucky few who are born stupid or something like that. However you say that nicely.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems that it is a curse of higher intellect, and we need groups like this to talk about it in, where you don't sound arrogant, because all of you guys are humble as
Well,
fuck, and that's why
For me, dude, exactly. I feel like humility, dude. I swear to God, we are so close to like just having like almost like just crisp systems, like just I don't know what
I don't think we are.
to say, dude. Like, I'm trying to get everybody on the same picture, like the
That is the
same
key, though.
thing. You know, like I don't know why I can get this excited about this shit, but like,
'Cause you're
You
passionate.
yeah,
gotta
dude.
treat
Like, I
that
don't know why I
like
want to like
with
gigabrain
me.
everything. I fucking hate it, but I do.
Well,
And
the thing
I
is,
don't know.
if you know
I want to get
something better
excited
than
about
someone else,
something.
you should always like stand up and share what you know. Like,
I should. I know.
'cause that's everybody. Like,
But like, I was the youngest child, and people fucking
I get
never
that.
listened to me.
Yeah, I get
Never
that.
listened to me, and it fucking drives me crazy. I've always. It's like I don't want to say like I've always been surrounded by idiots, but yeah, I have.
Brother, when you put yourself in front of people that can mirror you, and not
Right.
just online,
Exactly.
but
That's what I need.
in person, that
Yeah.
shit'll change your whole
I know.
mindset.
I know how fucked up I am. But I'm a good person, but I'm fucked up.
Dude, everybody's fucked up. That's the thing. Like, it's not
You
just
know what
you,
the
it
worst
should
part of is you have to be able to
I kept my heart alive.
you have to be able to care about yourself enough to disconnect from
Yeah.
the people that cause you that specific
pain or
harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's your family. At the
Yeah.
end of the day,
True.
it's like you have to think about what's healthy for your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't feel safe and you're not producing, then you're just settling.
The only person I
Here's one.
interact with is my mom.
And if you're a
basically.
logical person,
My
right,
dad,
you don't
but-
want that.
I don't know. Like, I don't even want to say like I'm like way higher IQ than the rest of my family.
It doesn't
or
matter.
any
The
of that
thing
Guess
shit.
what?
It's
You're-
like,
you put more
there's
effort.
truth.
It's not even IQ. It's just that you put more effort into it. That's the thing. It's,
I understood what made them like not want to learn the same kind of shit as me, and it's just because like I was onto it first. Like, that's it. That's all it comes down to. That's why I think this identity shit is retarded. It makes people fucking retards.
yeah.
And it's not, yeah, it's more like you just have a bunch of shit going through your head, and you have the kind of brain that processes information quickly and zooms out to the abstract more often than other people do. That doesn't have to be a superior status or anything. In fact, it is
No,
quite a
yeah.
curse. It is the curse of knowledge, is why they call it that.
Just let me be the
fucking
know-it-all.
boring, but it's
Just come to
amazing.
me. Come to me with your knowledge
With
shit,
your
or
question,
like,
whatever. Yeah.
just be like, you got an opinion
Yeah.
on this, you know? Like,
Fuck yeah.
That's what I'm worried of, because I don't want to come off as that's guru status. That's how gurus behave. And I listed these in the category. I should share this with you, Brandon, because you're concerned about this. So I did try to put these into pretty crisp categories a few years back when I started this book, Diagnostic Default. The difference between a guru, a spiritual coach, a mentor, a counselor, a therapist, a preacher, a teacher, and all the people that could possibly influence you. The way that they default to their particular types of reasoning, and which one causes the most danger. So the gurus tend to be very caught up in their own ego, very narcissistic, and believe they can do no wrong. This is likely how shamans were back in the day, and that worked in their favor socially. And that hasn't changed. That hasn't improved. It's probably reinforced itself throughout the ages. But that being said, there's a couple of approaches that I took from my life coaching courses that I took, Brandon, that you might appreciate here. So one is just basically vibes. Like, what you're talking about, how this motivates you. Like, you feel, I don't know that you use the word motivation, but something like that. You said like this continues to drive you forward. Whatever it is that has that, like whatever the emotional intensity is that motivates you to continue pursuing, then try and work with it. But again, yeah, it can be counterproductive. So you want to try and do another method. So this is just the pros and cons list. It's very simple, but it's one of those things where you start doing it and then you realize just how deep of something that you're wrestling with when you're trying to map out a pros and cons list for your life path. But the more that you do it, like you spend a couple minutes on it, then set it down, come back to it, spend a few more minutes on it, and then do that every few days. or weeks or so, and you'll put together a pretty strong pros and cons list of the directions that you want to take what you're doing, and what you're willing to not focus on, like what's most important to you and what is most motivating. Because you keep asking those questions too. Like there's different frameworks that they use in CBT with this too, to like really hone in on what actually fuels your impetus, what is your muse, and which of the like which one is the best one, and how to really narrow down on that. But it's mostly pros and cons list. Like that's the main thing I got out of life coaching.
Yeah, I should think about it.
You got to
more.
be your own devil's advocate. That's what
I
it is.
do,
And
man.
that takes a lot of.
That's sometimes a problem.
of.
I think for Brandon, it's a problem because
is.
he's his own worst enemy. And he overthinks like
Yep.
things that are inside his
Well,
brain.
that's the
Because
thing,
that's the
too.
way his brain works, kind
But-
of thing.
I just have to get out of that. I have to like stop attacking myself. Like,
True,
dude,
that is.
I am a
easiest
fucking
of the two.
talker, and I don't have people to fucking talk to, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Well, not
yeah.
about intellectual. You have people to talk to, but it's about like, how's the weather?
Yeah, it's
You know,
about
like.
yeah. I mean, I can't even like have fun though. Like, there's no like,
No, I get what you're saying.
there's no like thing to like have fun with and like I don't know, express myself.
Hmm.
That's why you create it, brother. You got to
Like-
create it. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
If there's nothing that fits you, you have to be the one to make it.
Well, the thing is,
And guess what? When you put yourself out
true to
there-
yourself. Like you gotta be true. Like if
I have fun
you
by
can't,
myself.
you can't go.
Yeah,
you
you have
can't
to
be
ask
like
yourself, what do
you
you
can't be a
deserve?
sports fan if you don't like sports, right? You can fake it with your friends, but inside you're gonna be hollow. You're not gonna actually have those feelings. You're gonna fucking probably lead to more depression and more shit. Trying to fit into places that you necessarily don't fit in.
Dude, it's hard to find people that you yeah.
True.
So let me ask you this: why is it hard? I mean,
I
If
mean,
you're
I
not-
definitely don't go
think
out
about
there.
it. If you're in the
I mean, I
space-
know my
yeah,
shit.
if you're in a space where you're not making any noise, is anyone to hear you?
Yeah, I know.
Right? I mean, that's the reality of it.
I was
You get to
thinking
that point, you
earlier,
realize, nobody's gonna hear me in this house.
Mhm.
like
Oh, you gotta
drinking
go make
might
some
like
noise.
be like just once, like a nice shift, you know. A little bit
That'll
of, like,
be
social lubricant.
yeah.
Like it's art. Yeah, I'm
Sure.
just gonna run my mouth for the rest of my life now because
That's
like
yeah,
my
that's a very deep
emotional
hole when you
back,
do that.
whatever the fuck. I don't know. I've been in a fucking pit. I will tell you guys. I've been in a bad fucking place.
Hey, brother, that's
Bad place.
I think we've all been somewhere
Somewhere,
close.
yeah,
We don't all know where we've been because it's
Oh
not
yeah.
something
for
that
sure.
people share. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure we all understand it.
Comparing, yeah.
We're thinkers, and guess what? When it comes to thinkers, you also have feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, like I tell you,
Yeah,
Brandon, all the
we all
time at the
know.
bar, dude. All the times at the bar, I sit there and just fucking have to listen to bullshit, and I so badly want
Mm-hmm.
to jump in, but it's like it's my job. I can't be fucking calling people stupid or whatever. So like I have to
See,
sit there and bite my
I
tongue
feel like this
so many times.
This is
Like,
why I am the way I am, because people talk about the idiots who fucking are so not self-aware at all, who just say retarded shit, and
But
they
you
don't
always got to
even.
remember though that they're a part of you though. Like they're still a part of like
Yeah,
humanity.
know.
Like we gotta try. Like in the end, instead of trying to like think of them as less than, which
Or-
I do that too. Like
I'm just
I'm
being an
guilty of this
asshole,
too personally sometimes. But like
'cause
we got to get
I'm
better
not
at
a
trying to
thing.
think of them as us. They're a part of us. We need to fucking come
Yeah.
together. And
I know.
we gotta somehow raise these people up to us somehow, or up to at least being cognitive and thinking about just things in life. Like stop being so rudimentary and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Rudimentary, dude. They just get attached to this lifestyle they see happening, during high school. Like they get
It's a
this
lot of it.
image of life. Like I'm gonna keep being this guy, driving this kind of truck, wearing these kind of clothes, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
And
what
then-
sucks though? I always say, what really sucks is when people stay that way forever. Like, you're supposed to grow as a person. Like, yeah, it's cool to like these things as a kid or whatever, but like,
they're going to
most-
heaven. They'll be fine. No.
yeah, man, that's what I always tell people. It's like, because like I said, this one dude was like, "Oh, I probably had a better GPA than you in high school." I'm like, "Cool, bro. Guess what? I've grown since high school. Have you?" Like, that's the problem. Like, these people rely on like their past to think of to make their
Right,
future.
on
but it's like
paper.
well, even then, but it's like.
Symbolic murder.
But that's your past, dude. Like, okay, in the past you might have been smarter than me at this. Cool. What about now? Because if you stay stagnant your whole life, and I've been working now for 20 years of fucking growing my brain and all this shit, I guarantee
dude.
at this point in life, I'm probably better than you. And even then, let's say that person fucking takes what I say and they take it to heart and they get fucking super into research. Maybe they get smarter than me later in life because I get stagnant. You know, like, it's not just because you're better than somebody at one point in your life doesn't mean forever.
Yeah.
That's the way it's gonna fucking be. It can't be. And that's a
Yeah.
lot of people's thinking. A lot of people
People like this whole thing has a structure that nobody fucking has any idea of. This
true. Yeah.
no idea. It's literally just what's in front of them, and
Oh, there's a structure to it. I promise you, there is.
there is. I mean,
There is.
It's
You
just
just
it's
had
a
it just-
deconstruction almost.
I'm not. No, I said I'm not talking about you, Carlos. I'm talking about the
No,
other. people.
no, I know what you're talking. I'm just saying, like, there is a structure there.
Yeah, that can be.
It's
yeah,
the same structure that you guys follow. It's just refracted. That's it. I know it sounds a lot more.
nobody's.
It's not that simple, right? Because it's more than a refraction of what you've already created, the framework you created. It's very similar.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? I don't know. Like, I'm talking about as you know what the fuck I mean. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, yeah, what parts of it, what theory, or whatever the fuck we got going on. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
It's something that is very intelligible, which determines all of us. We are all an intricate part of it. We're always pitching into it.
It's
And
an endless
yeah,
pot. It's an endless pot, brother.
people do not
You
realize
do.
how good life can be.
Mm.
That is my biggest fucking thing. That is what I think is the biggest problem.
I think people don't want to go
do
through
the
because
work.
it's painful. I mean, you're breaking yourself and rebuilding yourself, breaking yourself and rebuilding yourself. That's why people when people
I mean,
have
you
that
get structure in
that
place
motivation to
fucking
push forward, right? And you start pushing forward and
expedite the process.
having all these, you're accumulating all these things like, oh, I did this to get this. I did this. You start surrounding yourself with that as an anchor, right? And when all this external things you surround yourself with, when that no longer gives you meaning, it doesn't capture meaning, it doesn't give you purpose. Guess what? A lot of people, they make the mistake of, oh, I need more, and they go for the next stage, right? They force themselves to go even harder. Guess what? That's just compressing. You're compressing your internal chaos even more, because when there's a misalignment between I have all this stuff in front of me and it's not giving me meaning or purpose, guess what? That means that internally there's something changing that you need to be aware of.
Yeah.
And people skip that step because that is a felt experience. It's not a seen experience. It's a felt.
Yeah, people get crystallized and
Yeah, exactly.
they
I mean, it's
don't make that phase. Yeah, they don't make that transition.
It's like working out your muscles without stretching.
Yeah, like the whole Dabrowski thing. Yeah, dude. Like, I'm super on board with that positive disintegration.
Even y'all should try reading Living with Intensity. That's another good one. Or Rainforest Mind. That's
mind
another
was
good
in
one.
a good spot yesterday. I had a sort of weird idea that, all right, so think about like anything that you see in any instant, right? That is, I think, like the result of a collection of activity or whatever that occurs over a duration and is not in an instant. You know what I mean? Or maybe there are no instants in consciousness, but still, regardless.
No,
The
you're exactly
process is wider. You know, like the collection process is wider than the perception event.
It's the awareness of it. It's the awareness of
now,
it because your body processes.
You may know where I'm going with this, but
yeah.
Like, so think of like the light cone. You know, like you take like the one end of like the fucking shit leading up to consciousness, right? Then you take the other end and you trace that down to the point in which we perceive a fucking moment, and then you extend past that point down below, right? So they crisscross. Now think about how light exits or whatever, exits something before it enters it. You know, like it can fucking transfer data back in time toward itself, essentially.
It's like
and
an intersection.
choose
It's like
path.
an intersection.
So does that not seem to line up kind of like that intersection? It's like light got flipped the right way around through us to be able to experience, whereas the way it is, it can't experience in a way.
Well, you won't be able to
But
experience
that's
it until you
kind of
experience
crazy.
it
But
and become aware of it. Because you can experience something and not be aware of what's happening.
I just mean,
But
like,
that's
it
why
seems like light
it goes
is
back to that
facing.
desensitization.
It's like light
Desensitizing.
is facing the wrong way or something like that. You know what I mean? But we're facing the right way so we can experience stuff. You know, like we can take things in from, I don't even know.
I
You
get
think
what
about it
you're saying.
temporally, you think about it in terms of time, like that kind of gets kind of weird.
Yeah, don't go too far down that rabbit hole because that's fucked.
But
Get fucked with that one, I promise you. I've been there,
it's like,
and yeah, that shit would drive you crazy.
I just mean like thinking about like direction that you're looking, like how, like, it's like we're looking at the present, we call it present, but are we looking at the present, you know, like, or what is, I don't know. It's, I don't even know how
Brother,
to say
just
what
sit
I'm
with
trying to say.
yourself. Just sit. I promise you, you learn all that shit once you
Now,
process your emotions. You learn how to sit with your emotions, brother. You're
Oh,
gonna understand exactly what you're talking about clearly.
you got to listen to Alan Watts and Ravi Shankar. And no, wait, I'm sorry,
I don't know
Ravi
if it's a
Shankar.
red herring though. I don't know if I'm confusing myself.
No,
Super.
what you were saying made sense. It was just a little bit fragmented. That's it. That's
Yeah,
one of my
people
specialties.
talk about like, at least concerning the time thing. Presence is important, and being present in the moment. Like, we have moments that we experience, moments of salience and instances, but we don't have a now moment. Alan Watts uses this term, the now moment, and I think I'm trying to remember. There's another American professor who really got into this, but there's a bunch of lectures on this idea that were given at a bunch of universities back in the 70s, talking about how to think about presence and how there is no singular now. As soon as you call it now, it's already past, and basically how to deal with that, like how to think about that.
No, I'm good
That
with
one's
my
never really
time
bothered me.
perception. I think I'm okay with it. Like there was another thing that Alan Watts said, something about everybody's always living for the future or whatever, and like yeah, like that resonated with like everything I was thinking about at the time. You know, like I feel like all of our desires are just like a way that we're being pulled. You know, like narratively and so on and so forth. So it's like, I don't like in that obvious, like, desire, yeah, as a thing is very dysfunctional, you know, like, and I think the problem is we're just detached from the pool of I don't know, activity, you know, or if you're
You have to be really careful with that.
not in like third spaces and shit like that, if you're not like, I don't know,
Yeah.
if you don't have like a family, you know,
Mm.
if you don't have like
Examining
friends
the desires.
you're hanging out with,
Yeah.
we just have to be engaged and we're not engaged. So like I feel like disengagement is basically our illness in a sense.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
But then again,
Yeah, well, we need
we're
connection
solving
to live. We
problems.
need connection
So
to be able to see ourselves, to sense that we're alive, right? Because if the body and mind doesn't have something that says, okay, I'm real, well, it's not going to be able to survive. So how does it do that? Well, it anchors. You have to anchor yourself externally. Well, how do you do that? Well, you surround yourself with people. You surround yourself with things that bring you happiness. That you can say, "Oh yeah, I remember that," or "Oh yeah, this makes me feel like that." Everything is almost like a external soundboard, but instead of it, damn, I got fucking sidetracked because I automatically thought about fucking what you guys said earlier about the animals, about the rituals,
Yeah.
or the ancient rituals ties to it. You know what? I'm gonna just head there with that. So think about it this way: in order for us to process pain, how do we do that? How do people usually do that? You go to the gym,
Depression.
right?
Well, I'm
It
saying
has to be externalized.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. I
Not
mean,
right
yeah,
away,
you can
though.
go through depression, right? And you can go through those stages, but that's all internal.
Yeah.
But how do we capture the pain we're going through and put it out into something? Well, a lot of times we don't do that. We suppress it, right? So we're always trying to just disconnect ourselves from what we're experiencing pain-wise, and we're creating. But think about it from the ancient times, right? Think about how many animals that they sacrifice. Imagine what that does to the brain.
Just
Having all that negative
just watching it.
Yeah.
negative consequences, right? Or consequence of killing an animal. That's that experience you get from, hey, I just cut off the head of an animal. That sits in your head, and it has to be processed. But if it's not processed in a healthy way, what are people going to do? They're probably going to escalate the feeling, huh? They're probably going to do something worse to make the pain go away. You see how it just stacks up on each other?
Yeah.
And now what happens when it gets to the point where, yeah, now you're just killing to reinforce that inner feeling?
Yeah.
Well, it gets out of hand. That's where extinction comes in, right? So now you start to see the external consequence of not dealing with your pain. So you fast forward that to the future, it's the same shit. It's just in a different time, different era.
Yeah, I can see that.
You guys get where I was going with that, right?
I do.
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah,
I mean, you start seeing changes around
if
you.
you want to think of it like a different way, think it's the same thing that people who cut themselves. Same thing. I feel bad on the inside. I want to feel bad on the outside, so I cut myself. Right? It's the same thought process, right? They need to make it exterior instead of interior.
Well, they're trying to feel again.
That's part of it too. Yeah,
Yeah, there's different reasons that people do the cutting.
for sure.
The schizophrenic can often cut himself to see if there's wires under his skin.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but that's still reinforces that internal. It's an internal
Also,
dissonance that they're feeling. It's still a pain.
Right.
They're trying to figure out
Well,
what
that's
that
also
pain
like
is.
the existential distress because people link that to the meat machine problem.
Yeah.
Like this is how bad the postmodern meat machine issue is that people with or / experiencing schizophrenia will default to that way of thinking about it because it's so realistic. Like the scientific causal deterministic explanation of everything is so pertinent, so powerful and salient that they literally will check under their skin to see if they are made of wires.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parts underneath and gears.
It's
And all that.
scary.
Yeah, man.
Well,
So
It's
that's
scary to think
until
that
like
people have that like every day. There's people in the world that have that like thought process and stuff because they just can't help it.
yeah.
That's what's scarier about it. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just literally a
Like the
crapshoot. You were
schizophrenic
born and you got lucky, like same as all of us. You know, like it's all a lot of it is.
Yeah, and the etymology of schizophrenia means split mind. So a lot of times they'll experience that split of rationality where it seems like it's something that makes sense, but they won't have the cognitive questioning of it come online to the degree that it needs to. But with therapy, that can help. Like you can improve that capacity. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, destiny is a tricky thing. Knowing what to do with your life and knowing how to not be overwhelmed by the process. You really got to practice acceptance and find a good philosophy around that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid we aren't taught that.
I feel like we need more like an allowing element to our actions. You know, I feel like we focus so much on discipline. We don't focus enough on, okay, why do we have to why am I not just doing something because I know it's good for me? You know, like just doing that all the time. You know what I mean? Like
Like I said, I think it's comes.
why is
down
it
to
gotta
we
have a
kick the can down the
structure?
road. We
You know what I
kick the can
mean?
down the
It's
road,
like I do kind of feel like we aren't in the flesh enough to like
in
just
the moment.
be making decisions. Yeah, you know, not just like in the moment, but like kind of in the moment, yes, but it's like, but we don't try to like collectively decide to like have more fun or be more engaged or whatever, you know, like as people. It's like there's always that clash, that
Fear
symbolic
driven, brother. It's fear driven. That's why.
sense or whatever. Or like we're just
Spiritual
not on the
stuff.
same. I feel like as soon as groups get on the same like meta level as far as thinking goes, like
That is how you
good things
blend.
start to fucking happen. Things, yeah, like you start to create a structure, and everybody's kind of housed by this structure and can be expressed, and there's nothing awkward about it, and so on and so forth. But then, like, if you don't have that, life becomes very bleak, and Like as a society, yeah, we don't have this fucking structure. We don't have this big image, I would say. Not like big other, Lacan style, but like just like a big metacognitive or, intersubjective image that we all knowingly are taking in, that we take for granted as being understood by every part of the group. I mean, it seems kind of symbolic, but I don't know. I'm just trying to
But
say,
there's
like,
there's
but
groups
you're
like
in
that.
the real. You're in the
There's groups
real.
like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's groups
Yeah.
that are developing that now. Those are the same people I'm working with. You go to Superworld Collective, you go to Inner Gifted, High Factor, you go to, uh, I mean, there's a bunch, and they're all focused on the opposite of what like groups like Mensa focus on. For everyone, they want the precision, right? They want the specific type of intelligence. These people focus on the opposite. And that's exactly what you're looking for. So there's groups out there. If you want to meet people like that, the same thing I told Patrick. I was like, you have to pay for that shit.
It's the fucking, the imposter syndrome. It fucking definitely sucks.
Yeah, well, you can live with the imposter syndrome, right, and drown yourself, or you can decide to fucking reach for somebody. It's embarrassing, but guess what? Is it worse than fucking sitting there letting yourself go insane? I mean,
Yeah, just do it, man. There's like a leap of faith that's also really important with that, because there's like the fuck it attitude you can take to it, and it's like fuck it YOLO, and it seems like there's a lot of utility in that way of thinking, because most of the time you're not going to embarrass yourself, and if you do say something that you don't,
I'm not even like worried about the embarrassment, I guess. Like, I'm cool to like kind of stick to the side and just listen to people talk and get a feel for things, and then slowly unravel myself, whatever. Basically how it goes.
Yeah. I don't think that's fun, brother. That's not fun for you.
What's that?
Sitting there doing nothing.
Oh no, I'm
all right
right now.
Like sitting there.
I mean, not forever,
I'm
but
saying like listening. Sitting in a group and listening. Like that's great. But, when there's people out there that want to hear people like you and want to hear your insights, and you start getting validated in that way.
I don't know what I got to say, man. I'm just, this is just reality for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really.
Is it reality for you?
I don't know.
You make your own reality. You decide that. Nobody else decides that shit for you.
So I know I'm just speaking reality. I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, this is the way that you usually move through the world and speak in the world. I mean, yeah, it does help to use the pros and cons list with this too, where you can narrow down on what you really want to work on and what you want to put out into the world. I know you're big on the semiotic regions, and that's got a lot of potential. Of course, it's huge, hugely abstract.
I don't even think about, dude. I'm at a point with thinking where I'm just like, all right, I'm home, all right, I'm smoking weed, and then I start like writing something, and I'm like, okay, this seems okay, or whatever. Maybe somebody would like this. I don't know. And I post it or whatever, and that's basically
more
it.
important,
Like,
though, do you
I'm trying to get. I need to get more organized. I haven't been taking it seriously. Basically, that's my whole thing. It's like, this is a hobby, kind of thing. But I mean, I can do better.
It doesn't sound like a hobby, bro. It sounds like it's the most important thing to you.
Oh, might be, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But I also don't want to put that on you too. I don't want to make it sound like it's more important than it actually is.
It's
when you're looking at it logic, it definitely is a hobby.
Yeah.
Because something without production, right? If you're not producing to get something in return, well, it's a hobby.
I'm a sloppy person, so it's like I gotta circle around to the well articulated thing I'm circling toward. Sort of like the Platonism, semiotics, and panpsychism combo kind of thing. Whatever brings all that stuff together, if it can happen. But yeah, I think dude, I feel like reality is pretty simple. It's like what works and what makes sense. That's I feel like I don't know. This for me though. Like I don't know. I mean, then it's like I'm trying to go beneath that too. You know, like what's underneath that. You know, what's pre-semiotic. That would be to me where Platonic forms would lie. If that's or like some space where potential shit comes into being.
Space.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, this whole thing about like who your real self is, it's weird. I don't know. It's so fucking
It's
weird.
invented, brother.
It's a Western problem, man.
The symbolic it's a symbolic order, dude. It's
But it doesn't
You're-
have to be a perfect order. I think that might be a useful thing to say. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah,
whatever.
Huh?
it's chaos.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. I feel like you can drive yourself crazy trying to find the correct symbolic order. And what you see in the Eastern
Oh, for
philosophy,
sure, for sure.
What you're supposed to do with your life is based much more on everyone else around you.
The symbolic
How you're
order is
considered.
felt. And yeah, like it has to do with, tribal membership, like every tribe would have a symbolic order. But it's also it's like a part of the psyche. That's the whole thing with the symbolic order. It's not just it's like a unitary thing. It's all imposing, and then you kind of exist as some unique thing that can't be signified on top of it or whatever, or on the side or whatever the fuck, whatever it would be. But like the real is in the sensed realm, right? Whereas otherwise you're living through the symbolic, the felt, seen, sensed, the now. Yeah, I think that's the issue though. Like there is no internal fucking framework that we can all unite based on, like, oh, we're just this thing. Okay, well let's be good people now.
Yeah, I'm thinking about honestly changing the picture for my YouTube channel to an image of a bunch of arrows pointing together at nothing, because that's what we're doing. We're trying to get at something that physics can't prove. You can't put your hand on it. You can't put it under a microscope or see it in the distance with a telescope. We're all the blind men touching the elephant, trying to identify the elephant.
Or we're trying to capture something.
That metaphor is not right, because we don't know that it's going to be an elephant that we're ever actually going to identify. The point of what I'm saying is that we have to keep going with this process of trying to get at something that we can't possibly see with all these arrows. We're using each other as feedback. The ultimate mission here is to be better with consensus, is to embrace consensus and let that guide you.
Can't be translated.
We're so obsessed with our own ideas. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure.
I don't want to be. Dude, I so fucking want to be like completely, like I don't want to just use my fucking idea. I don't even care about semiotic reasons. I don't care about any of this.
Patrick said about consensus, because that's the big thing, though. You
I do, but I don't. I just have fun with it. Consensus, consensus is important.
I'm saying, like you were saying, like you might
comes
have a
down to
great
communication,
idea, but
though.
if you can't flesh out the idea and or like explain to somebody else, or, you got to be able to demonstrate it to somebody else to verify that it is actually the good idea that you, because like obviously we all think we have the best everything, right? Because we're just humans, right? But you need that verification from another source, like another person or like a lab or whatever the fuck, like that will actually demonstrate that your idea is validated and it's going to be a fucking good choice, good everything,
Yeah.
We need his arguments though,
True.
but like arguments don't have power.
It comes down to
like for whatever reason
to
in
just
the world. But, I mean, they do.
And people got to get better. Again, I hate that we were raised on. We have a whole generation, and I'm one of them, where they always told you don't talk about religion and politics and shit. You know what? It made it now where people don't know how to talk about these things, and these are the things that we need to talk about. Like these are some of the biggest issues in the world, but we all can't talk about it because we fucking want to hate the other side and or just whatever the fuck, like we weren't trained to do it.
Given unlimited communication, you're gonna have a consensus.
You'll get to a better consensus. At least it might not be, because nothing's ever gonna be perfect. But you'll get.
I think all of our not perfect, but it's just like I just mean like abstractly, like it's all communication. It's all your model of the world. And like you change somebody's model of the world by adding more shit to it, and then eventually our world models align, and then you say a thing, they're like, oh yeah, that is true. You know what I mean? Like it's we do not have the same facts. We need the same facts
That's the
to
first step.
have the same conclusions. Yeah.
That's a big step. But again, the only way you get to, honestly, this goes back to the thing though. Only way you know you really have a fact without being like demonstrated by like actual science is by consensus. You need to have enough people. You need to talk to enough people to verify that this is the consensus, and for everybody, not just yourself or whatever.
But it's such a huge like when we're talking about psychology. That's okay. So this is I'm having a realization. Oh boy! So the reason that they talk about avoiding discussing religion and politics during Christmas dinner and all that is because those topics are so deep, and your ability to talk about them with nuance and not get caught up into ideology is very, very difficult because you're already attached to those ideologies without examining them at the depth that you need to. That seems to be the case for basically everyone that I talk to on at least in casual conversations with politics and religion, and the same is the case for psychology. It seems that's become so ideologicalized or whatever.
But it's also emotional. It's that you have this belief, and usually you don't really have the best grounds to stand on. So it's like someone pushes back on it. You don't want to admit that you're wrong. I feel like that comes down to like the pride or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like you don't want your ego. Like you don't want to admit that I was wrong on this topic. I'd rather fight and argue with you for 25 minutes about whatever it is than admit that I was wrong.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's a big part of it too.
Well, it's admitting that they have to grow.
True.
That they're not that they have more to do, more searching in the subconscious mind to be able to develop themselves more. They want to avoid that. That's what they're avoiding. It's not about just being wrong. You can say, yeah, on the surface it's just being wrong, but it's the emotions that come.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. It's emotional for sure.
Yeah.
It's the shame. You don't want to feel shame or negativity or whatever the fuck you want to call it,
Your motivation. So, idea generation is also dopamine fueled. This is something I wanted to mention. So, when we're describing our ideas, or when we're following our muse and we're being fueled by the impetus of our emotions and what we believe, that's usually being fueled by dopamine. So, this is where people will write and write and write and write. And you just have more ideas coming, and you just keep connecting dots, but you don't really stop to think, are these the right dots to connect? So it's not as simple as that. Most philosophers are trying to stop every sentence or mid-sentence to try and practice some nuance. And I'm saying that even the best philosophers don't do that to the degree that's necessary to do good philosophy.
I used to do that a lot more, but right now it's like
it doesn't feel good. It's not as fun. It doesn't feel. It takes it. It's like the dopamine makes it fun because it's like, oh, I'm really on to something now, and then it's like, oh wait, but really am I? And then the dopamine fades, and it's like, wah, wah. You just lose the passion. That's really easy.
That's happened to me. Yeah.
If you're gonna be,
I'm trying to go back. I need to fucking have organized ass shit like for writing. Like I need everything perfectly presented and just look at this collection of data and then really collect it or connect it. Like I got a fuck ton of things, just this weird threads.
If you need an accountability buddy, bro.
Accountability buddy.
Right.
Well, honestly, but that's where community comes in when you think about it. Like, things get easier if you have somebody else doing it with you. Like, if you're trying to do things on your own, you can do it, but it gets way harder because you have to shoulder all the load of all the issues, the good, the bad, the negative. If you have 3 friends, it's like if you were to, I don't know, pick up like professional video gaming. You doing it yourself is going to be hard, but if you have 4 other friends that do it, guess what? You're going to probably be more likely to keep going and keep trying and keep doing it versus like I said, I'm guilty of this too. Like I pick up so many projects and I just stop doing them. Like, oh, I should do this, and then I just kind of don't.
I've been like in crisis mode where it's like I haven't even been forming long-term goals. Like,
yeah, but the thing is, you need
it's like
short-term
life is
goals
just
to
this
get there.
endless runaway train, dude, and I'm just trying to get back on the rails. Like, fucking Christ.
That's looping. That's like fucking going in a circle and waiting for your chance to jump and then not jumping.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. It's like my whole life I've just been trying to get my fucking saddle on the goddamn horse.
Do you know what's crazy? Yo, do you know what's crazy about that? Is that if you sit with that, there's a specific moment where you'll know that it's time to move.
Yeah,
it's what I
I
do.
know.
When I'm sitting, if I sit for a few days and I'm like trying to process some shit, there's usually like a moment that I feel almost like a sense of alignment. You can think of it as intuition, right? Where it's like this moment, it feels right. That's where you jump at. So like even like for you, if there's a moment where there's something that makes you feel good, take advantage of it. You jump on it right away, and you see where it takes you. Sometimes it's a short trip, sometimes it's a long trip. But guess what? You'll know you know how that pattern feels over time.
I don't know if you guys have seen the things
with it.
on Facebook, like the quantum luck thing or whatever the fuck, you know, like people that actually believe in luck are looking for opportunities. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, it's a little goofy, but huh?
It's also about getting to the tolerance. Like for example, I'll use me. I texted Patrick right before this. I was like, I'm burned out and I'm fucking tired. I was like, you know what? Am I gonna socialize with people this week? I was like, no, not really. All right, fuck it. And I just put myself in a group. I stood silent.
You gotta come here, man.
Yeah,
but you have to
stay silent for like an hour.
We love you. We love you, man.
I was done. I was done. But putting yourself in there, letting yourself kind of like readjust, it gets you out of that headspace. So you have to be able to put yourself in a situation and change too. If you're always like, oh, I'm not feeling it, and then you just sit there, well, how is that ever going to change? You're sitting in the same spot.
Yeah, I know.
You know? That's what I'm saying. We always kick cans down roads instead of like actually solving the things. Like we know we got to do things right. And I mean, I'm like I said, all of us are guilty to an extent. Like we all know we got to do this to probably better our lives or everyone's life, right? But sometimes it's just so hard to take that like the third step. The first step's usually easy, and the second step's kind of easy. Once you get to like the third, fourth, it becomes a drag, and it's like I don't know why you just don't push through and keep motivation, or I don't know what it is. Lack of motivation, maybe. I don't know.
Tension, man. There's tension on both sides. Nobody wants to go through that tension of being uncomfortable, of that uncertainty, right?
That's a big part of it, yeah.
That's the biggest thing right there. It's dealing with the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Because if your nervous system doesn't feel safe, right? And you're already calibrated to respond a specific way to how you're feeling, how your nervous system feeling, you're gonna go back to the same fucking habits until you learn how to expose yourself to new stimuli.
It's like I just have to fucking let my ego exist, and it's fucking annoying, dude. I don't know.
Let your ego exist.
Let my ego actually, instead of
ego. You don't really
being
have
fucking
ego.
data or some shit. Huh? What'd you say?
That I don't even think we have an ego. It's like an illusion of ego, just like the illusion of free will.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an illusion. Of course, it's an illusion. Like
I mean,
everything.
we want to believe that there's this
It's just
ego
production. It all has a fucking. It does something with information, right? All these psychic structures. It does something different with information that the other ones don't. Right.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. I have to fucking go through all that too. But yeah. I don't know. Big projects though, intellectually, I guess. I have so much fucking learning to do too. That's my thing, is like I have the audacity to stick my hands in this meatball without knowing everything already beforehand.
But sometimes hands-on is the best way
fun.
to learn though.
I think so too.
That shit fucking crumble. watch it crumble and see what fucking
Well,
happens.
I really fucking love the Jungian, like, conception of life, individuation, and it's like what I'm doing is I'm like bringing some unique signature of, information into the world, like it's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
pollen, basically.
yeah, you're presenting your movie to people.
Yep.
You're the movie of your life.
In a way, yeah,
You can use all this framework, but guess what? No one's ever gonna go through the same shit that you went through.
Nope.
No
absolutely
one's
not.
ever gonna
Yeah,
experience it the same way you experienced it. So
yeah,
you have you're obligated to share that with people because it's what represents you.
you have to.
So you wanna do you wanna give them a fucking a shitty ass movie that's fake? Think about it like a fucking pirated movie, or do you want to give them a 4K fucking movie in the movie theaters? Show them your shit.
Yeah.
Only you know what the truth is,
Yep.
what the truth looks like. Only you know what that logical structure in your mind looks like, right? But if you're constantly using other people's framework, it's not yours.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like I've never wanted to be a follower of anything. Like, oh, I am a, I don't know, Jungian or whatever. Like I never wanted to limit myself because why the fuck would you? I don't know. I've always
No,
had
you can do that.
big
Look, you can do
ambitions.
that.
I've always looked beyond whatever little peak somebody else finds, and I'm like, all right, is there a bigger peak? Like, oh yeah, there is. Like,
Yeah, but
I
that's
don't know.
also part of your architecture, your inner architecture. It's like all the things that you've learned and experienced over time. That's what gives you the framework that you've been using to process information. But
Yep.
guess what? If you're only stepping into, if you're only adding frameworks from other people, and you're not reshaping it in a way that allows it to relate to you, or allows it to align with what you're feeling internally,
Hmm.
well, then that would be considered yours, right? When you do that, when you reshape it,
Also,
you're not just saying, "Oh, here's a wall with framework that's already known." You're making the wall yours.
it starts symbolic when you learn that way, and then it becomes real, as opposed to real to symbolic.
Yeah, you have to reform it. Same way you build a
So, like
fucking
for
sculpture.
us, we are feeling the real. We're like feeling the bumps, and and then we're symbolizing it. Like whereas other people, they're trying to find the bumps, but they can't find the bump. I don't know how many people can't find
Yeah,
the bumps.
you know what you guys can do?
Psychologically, it's
Is if
difficult.
you practice, paint. Take a fucking canvas and paint. Don't even think. Just put whatever color you fucking grab or you feel like you want to use it. And don't try to fucking create this. Just fucking do it.
You know what I
Yep,
do
Be
when
upfront.
I used to do stuff like that. You know what I used to do back in the day was I would draw I put dots on a page. And I start with like a connect the dot, and then let my eye creativity take over. Like, oh, I see this now, and then I start drawing like a real picture or whatever the fuck. But like I never knew how to start like well. Like
Oh, that's that most. That's you see when people do that when you draw first, you're trying to have control of it.
yeah.
That's the thing. You're painting. You want to be fluid. Boom, go. Because over time, the more you get comfortable with painting without thinking, you can reinforce your paintings after you observe them. Right? So you paint with no structure. See what it looks like after. When you realize it looks like shit, okay, how can I do this better? And then you go again, do the same thing, and this time you can do the same thing again. Do it without thinking, but now you're gonna react to it differently because you saw your previous painting. So now your brain's already picking up on all the shit you want to improve. So you just keep doing that. Every week you paint something new and see where it takes you.
Yeah, painting was fun.
I really want to
Yeah.
draw too. Fucking get actually good with fucking pencil, but then, dude, I want to. Yeah, I get too many fucking ideas, dude. Like I got this laptop, like I haven't really used it much. I could use it more, but it's also kind of annoying to use, and I kind of would like to have physical art. kind of want to carve stuff, carve something. That would be fun.
You should,
Yeah.
man. I'm about to do some bamboo work tomorrow. I found a new bamboo location. I'm gonna make some kitchen utensils and chopsticks.
Shit.
And some spoons.
That's pretty dope.
Man, creative outlets definitely help.
Yeah, there's many outlets. And monetize it if you can. I'm gonna try to sell some of these items too. When it comes to philosophy, it's harder to make money, but
Oh, I
The
would
best way, I
fucking
suppose, what
love
you're
to
doing is
make
write a book. You got to write a
something
book
unique.
and get people to start buying it.
Oh man, what can I think of? People love stuff for their house, you know what I mean? So it's like
Hmm.
doing furniture, whatever the fuck,
yeah, something that you can feel and
that
prove
they
that.
can derive identity from. I gotta use
That's what it is,
But
brother. Your
spirituality.
it's your puzzle. It's your how you call it? It's your canvas, and you're just putting puzzle pieces on that bitch.
Hey, Brandon, how adept do you think you are to learning like stock market and economy and shit in general,
Ooh,
like economics? Do you think you could that suits you or no?
economics. It's like I have to be super visual with that, and I have to like I obviously have to learn to read fucking
Well, so
calculus
I
and
was going
all
to tell
that
you.
shit.
So I've been thinking one of my latest things I've been thinking about doing per se because I buy stocks and
I just
shit.
need
And
to
I've
know the main parts. That's
But
it,
you could
basically. The main moving
you could
parts,
become a
the main
guy
gears.
for like I read it takes about 70 hours they say of studying and about 78 you don't need a college degree or nothing, but in 70 hours of reading if you learn the marketplace enough you could fucking be a person that buys stock for people and you get like a percentage of it, like let's say you buy
Okay.
$10,000 of stock for
Right.
people and you deal their money, make the money, you get like 2% back of the money they make,
Yeah.
like shit like that.
Do with that.
But I'm just saying it
can't
seems
stand
pretty
it.
simple, and you don't need a college degree because that was a big thing I was worried about. I was like, oh, do you need to fucking get like an accountant school or whatever? Like, no, you don't. As long as you can pass, it's like a FINET test. I can't remember what it is. I can look it up. But if you pass this test, it costs $187 to take the test. It's like an ACT test kind of thing. You got 3 hours to answer. I think it's like 180 questions. You got to get 70% right. If you get 70% right, you can do that.
Oh, ACT. I remember taking that test. That shit was so fucking easy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was ridiculous. How easy ACT test.
It was a long one. I mean, I remember taking that shit. I did good
Yeah,
at
was
everything
it-
but math.
And what's the other one? Something else?
The SAT.
Yeah, it's 8. No, you said
Yeah,
ACT or ACT?
Or SOL.
So ACT is usually more for the Midwestern states, and the SATs are usually the coast. Usually.
I took both.
Yeah, you can take
Yeah,
both.
because SAT in Jersey and then ACT in Oklahoma.
Yeah, like I said, that's usually how it rolls. Not always, though, obviously. But let me see. Let me double check.
Yeah, that actually makes sense now. I think about it. I never thought about that shit. Like, why the fuck did I need to take the ACT? Damn, I need to take that in Jersey.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was Midwest versus fucking
The coast.
East
yeah.
Coast or the coast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually changed that scoring system so many times, or 3 times. Say so many.
Do they out?
Think
Yeah,
it.
for sure. How's the hell on my phone? Here, you have to become a license.
Yeah, English, mathematics, and reading.
Here
Oh no,
you go.
what?
It's called a
I'll bring it up.
It's called a registered investment advisor, RIA. It's called a Series 65 exam. If you pass that Series 65 exam, you can fucking do that. You can become a mini stockbroker, not a full fledged one. That's where you have to go to school. But I'm saying like you can fucking buy stock for people and fucking hopefully make the money, and then you get a cut of the money.
Yeah, you just gotta want to do it.
Yep.
It's gotta be something.
Well, that's why I asked
$70
Brandon. I was like,
or
"Are you
whatever.
adept at like? Do you see something if that's something you could want to do? Because if you could, like, realistically, like I'm thinking about doing it myself too. Like but it's like this could be a life changing thing. It's just, but like I say, it's one of those things like Carlos saying, it's the unknown. I have what I have now. Like if I want to put everything into this, I could have a better life, but also it could be nothing. Like and that's what sucks about it.
Wait, was there something to like link to me or anything?
No, I haven't linked you yet. I just found it.
Oh,
I'll find it right here.
Like messing with
What?
money. I don't like money.
I'll just send you. I'll just
anything involving money. That shit is disgusting to fucking work towards. I don't care.
anything's better than what I'm doing right now. Basically, I feel like. Well, not anything.
So like
but...
for me, so something like this, at least for me, is more ethical because like I only get to like if you do it, you only make money if they're making money. Like if you make this person like $10,000 in 3 months, you get like 500 or 1,000, whatever the fuck percentage. You know, like they got to make money in order for you to make money. So at least it has a little bit more of an ethical, you know, like kind of standing.
Like, hey, let me go play with your money.
That's basically what it is. The thing is, it's a lot of people. It's like a lot of things though. Like a lot of people don't want to read about it. Like if you want to take the time and read like the charts and marketplace, you know, like and just understand like economics, you can do the work for them and they'll pay you, like I said, a cut of it.
What's trending right now?
Yeah,
like
all that kind of shit.
What's the 10-year
Yep.
forecast for this thing? You know,
Yes.
like that is pretty fucking simple. If people don't have a hard time with forecasts and shit like that, I don't know.
Dog, I'm telling you, people don't. That's what I'm saying. Because this guy that comes to my bar, he does that shit in Wisconsin, and he was telling me all about it. He's like, yeah, he's like, go for him because he's been doing it forever. He's like, I got like $4 million I deal with. He's like, I get like paid like $40,000 every couple months because I make these people money. Like that's pretty dope.
Would be dope. Imagine me
right?
retiring early.
Well, not even that though. The thing is also like it's hopefully like I was
early
saying,
you
you have more ethics. Hopefully, like you don't just take money to make money. You're doing it to fucking like better in the environment around you or whatever. That kind of shit too. Like that's all important. And I feel like people with good intentions with money are better than the people that are just making money just to make money. Like,
isn't that kind of what the stock is doing? I mean, the whole market it's a gambling market.
It is.
It's just you're gambling on confidence that you place in a particular company.
Correct.
And that's always fluctuating. So it's not.
However, there's a lot of variables though. Like, so that's mostly true. Like the newer stocks and shit, obviously. But like Coca-Cola is not going anywhere. Like you can always advise someone to buy Coke. They're gonna make money and they're gonna fucking whatever. You know, like there are some more safe. Like I was talking to what's his name, my buddy I was telling you about. He's like, I only tell people to go safe and do that shit when they're like 60, like when they want to keep their money. Like when you're young, he's like, go make money. Don't be just pussyfooting and think you're gonna ever get, like you said, like retire early, whatever the fuck it is, because you're not. Because you gotta take a couple gambles every now and then. But it's a fine line though. You got like, so even for like my shit, I have like half of my shit's like big risk, big reward, and the other half's all like dividends and stuff. I want to get paid slowly every few months. It's a little bit now. It's like $30 a month, but you buy one more share of those stocks, and then it just keeps building. Hopefully, I do for 20 years. Hopefully, I'm getting paid enough at the end where I don't have to work as much. That's basically my whole goal. Is I just want to retire young. I don't need to be rich. I just want to be.
But is that going to make you happy though?
Why? Because
guess what? When you retire,
for me, I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell you two things. I have a bad body because of my fucking knee crippledness. So like my body's just way older and shot compared to a lot of people at this age. So like that's part of. I don't want to fucking work when I'm 65, 70, that kind of shit. Like with my body, I already see it being bad. That's a big part of it. And B, like I said, I would like just to travel the world. I want to go see other cultures. That's all I want to do. Like I don't want to be stuck at work in the rat race of life and just doing the same shit over and over and over. Like I want to go explore. It's a big fucking world out there, and there's a lot to fucking see. And I would like to go see it. Like that's basically that's all I want to do right now at this current moment.
Oh yeah, man. Let's make it happen.
Well, I guess to me, like I said, like
yes, I
how about
want
this? Like I said, I've looked at plenty of pictures of fucking like the Roman Colosseum and all that shit. It's way different seeing it in life. Like seeing things in life it just puts it. And then like for me, because like I said, I'm a thinker and shit. I started going, man, this fucking building is 3,000 years old, and my mind just goes crazy thinking about like all these things. It's like fuck, man. It's just so fascinating.
Yeah, it's an amazing world out there. I definitely want to travel too. I'm also tired of the rappers.
That's the other thing too. And like I said, I mean, Like I said, if anybody ever has a fucking crippleish body, dude, they'll know, dude. Like it sucks, dude. Getting up, like it's hard for me to go to sleep sometimes because my hips and knees are fucking just always shot, like always in pain or whatever the fuck kind of shit. So, like I said, I don't want to be like I work at a bar. Like I said, I have plenty of people who are like 70 that are still working and grinding. Like I don't want to be that person at all. To have to work at that age, like scares me almost. Like fuck, man.
Oh yeah, to even think about something like that. Fuck no.
That's what I'm saying. Like oh god, there's so many little things like that.
Right,
It's a
like
sacrifice, man. You gotta choose.
It's
It's
true.
either you sacrifice now and you have a better life later, or you sacrifice later.
Mm-hmm.
When you, and that's gonna be the worst because
That is.
you're gonna sacrifice all the shit that you're pretty much when you get to 70. That sacrifice is that happiness that you never got to experience.
Yep. I know that used to be me. I used to be a big into like the grind culture. Just grind your ass off, make money, blah blah blah. And it's good to an extent, obviously, because obviously like it helps you better with money and shit. But like, the thing is, you have money, but if you're not spending it or using it for anything that's like valuable or like it's like what's the point of having it? Like, oh cool, like I'm not gonna go on a trip. I'm not gonna go do this, so it just sits there.
Yo, do you guys like painting at all? Like the actual paintings in museums?
When I look at them, they're
Yeah.
pretty dope. Yeah,
I'm not into art, but like I appreciate it.
I do too.
Fuck, it's like wow, when I'm actually
yeah,
looking at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys a painting that's fucking insane. See if I can fucking find it.
I love being able to appreciate other humans, man.
True. Honestly, I can tell people all the time, dude. Like, if you're the best at anything, it could be almost anything. I'm gonna fucking want to watch it or enjoy it. It could be, like I said, painting. It could be cooking. It could be anything, dude. Like, because it's so fascinating to watch people be awesome at their craft and to think like technically I could do that, but I mean maybe I can't because I'm not like them, like that, whatever. But like,
I had a girl accuse me of being a narcissist and it fucked with me. So,
Yeah.
because I was being very annoying to her.
Whoa, are you?
well,
No,
we all are to an extent.
I think like lowercase n, like as far like I've been through shit and I've had fucked up, just a shitty life and like part of that is my fault or whatever, but like determinism like kicked my ass. And I knew like the word determinism when I was like 18, 19.
Yeah.
So it's like that probably fucked with my head. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I had everything fucking go the wrong fucking way, dude. Just fuck. And then that fucking fucks with my ego. It fucks with so much shit, dude. It's like I am the product of just so much shit. Just compressing me. And that's it, like I have to live with, not live with it, but like I have to take something. I have to make, yeah, exactly. That's all it is at some point you're like, all right, yep, we're going with this. Ship it.
You just gotta learn to decompress. That's it.
I'm this motherfucker, and I gotta like open myself up and annoy the shit out of these motherfuckers.
Look at that painting.
I am looking at this painting.
It's by Bruegel. Do you
like
notice anything? So it's a very deep fucking picture or deep painting. So the illusion is that it's a place of pleasure, right? Everyone thinks that they got everything around them, they got all this food, all this, and they automatically think it's this place of pleasure, but it's not. Right? It's a lot of symbolic representation in this painting. So you look at it, you have a knight in the red, you have a farmer in the white, and you have a scholar or monk on the right side, and you have that knight in the background. You see, you have the first knight. He's slumped under a tree that's supposed to be giving him life. So if you look at the tree is produced. This is a fucking shitty picture. It doesn't even show the whole thing. Hold on. And I'm gonna walk you guys through it, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
I can tell you a lot of things.
He's very detailed oriented.
I love paintings. I dissect them to the very fucking core. But Anyway, you can
I'll do
still
that
see
with
it anyway.
music, but
So,
I'm not
so
technical with
look at
music.
think of the tree as the tree of life, right? So if you zoom into it, the tree is actually producing cups. It's not producing fruit. The tree of life produces fruit.
Yeah.
So you see how they're sitting underneath that table. That table represents the their internal foundation, right? So when you look at it, right, think of the people as the nutrients, right? What they're producing. Right now, they aren't producing anything. You have one knight that has all his tools and armor off. He doesn't have shit. The only thing he has left is the red coat of arms. That represents nobility. That's all he's left with. So the things that made him strong, the reason he fought, right, was to protect. Now, when you wrap your identity around just protecting and you leave that, what happens? Well, now you have nothing to live for. Now the only thing that you're left with is your nobility, right? Oh, I was this.
Yeah.
But that shows him that that's not giving him pleasure. Now, right now, he's stuck in exhaustion. That's what happens when you overindulge. Right now, he overindulged in the life of being this person that represented strength and protection and service, right? So if you look at these three people as pillars of society, you have defense, you have labor, and you have religion. That scholar is supposed to be representing a scholar and a cleric,
Mhm.
or moot. Now you got this other guy over here to the left. The guy over here to the left is hiding under a house full of cakes, or covered in cakes. You see it?
Mhm.
So that guy, he's opening his mouth. But do you notice anything about how he's positioning himself? Right now, he's looking up.
Yep.
He's looking up with his mouth open, waiting for something to fall. But do you notice anything about his behavior? His arms are crossed.
Okay, chillax.
Closed. No, he's not chill. He's scared.
Oh, okay.
He has a helmet on. Why would he have a helmet on underneath the house?
Yeah, that's
Hard to tell.
He's hiding. But you look at what he surrounds himself with. You have a house covered in cakes. You have a half-eaten cheese by the door, and yet he's waiting for something to come his way.
The cheese.
He's living in fear. So then you got the other
Or
guy.
in expectation. He's living in expectations, is what it looks
Exactly.
like.
Yep.
Or he's like,
So
it's hard to see.
it's what the fuck the word? Yeah, living in expectations. So now you have the farmer, right? The farmer, number one, he's collapsed. He's not laying down. He's collapsed from labor, too much labor. So that's showing that living a life full of labor won't bring you happiness. In the end, that was his downfall, right? He thought that maybe if I work, I'll get something in return from it that would make me happy. It didn't, because now guess what? Now the shit that he fucking used to farm, now that's just the thing that's causing him pain. He's laying on it. You see how he's not laying there in comfort, he's laying there in discomfort. That represents the discomfort of having a fragile body after working for so long.
He doesn't even want to eat the cakes or eat any of the stuff that's around him that's so readily available.
Yeah, he's already passed the fuck out. Honestly, him and the first
And
night
then-
both passed out. Or the second night, I should say, the one in orange. They're both like passed the fuck out. Like they overworked.
That's another one that this is going to be interesting. So look at the scholar. So number one,
He's in wonder.
This painting was in the 1500s in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So back then in Germany, it was known that a lot of the monks were giving a lot of stuff, a lot of land, and so they became wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
So this represents that of what happens when you indulge in the luxuries. So look at he's laying down on a fur jacket.
Yep.
And it looks like his head
He's laying down with his paper, his work underneath him, with his book closed, with his pocket for his genitals are uncovered, and has his mouth open with a bottle hanging right above him. So he's indulging in the life of luxuries. But what happens when you indulge the life of luxuries? He forgets about all the shit that's around him. His original responsibility, right? his responsibility as a monk, as a scholar, as a cleric was to produce. He's not doing anything of that. Do you see how there's also an egg with a knife in it walking towards him?
Yeah, I was gonna note that, and there's also the duck that's putting itself on the plate, and the pig that literally has a
Honestly,
knife just
there's
waiting for you to
there's
carve
another
it
thing.
up.
So
The
that's
person,
another thing.
the person way in the back, honestly, so it looks like the person in the back's about to kill all these people because they're all distracted. These two are over distracted because they're overly worked. This guy, like you said, because he's overindulging, and the person with the keg, he's probably starving. Represents like starving, overworked, like fucking military people. So he's not paying attention, and then this person in the back, in this black in the corner, is gonna come in and fucking kill them all and steal all their shit. That's kind of what it looks like to me.
Yeah, so you can't see it, but what he's actually doing is getting sucked into that hole. So if you look very closely, you have to lighten up the
Yeah.
contrast. But that's his head. He has a spoon. So what he's actually doing
Oh, I do
was
see the spoon now. Okay, yep.
he's
Okay.
getting sucked into his addiction. So he went in there and he was eating the pudding. That's pudding in the background. So he overindulged in pudding, right? So the more he did that, the more it became a way of coping, right? He took it as, hey, I'm just gonna consume. It's gonna make me feel better. And now it's what's causing him the most harm. And now he's being consumed by the one thing that he was following or that he was consuming.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to represent addiction. And do you see how he's hanging on to the tree?
Yep.
You realize how that pudding is not just sucking up him, it's sucking up everything.
It's like a black.
That's the
hole.
cloud. It's like a cloud of addiction. Now you can also see in the background there's more details.
Mm-hmm.
So you have two boats.
Yep.
You have the two boats in the background, and then you have the guy on top of the pudding pile, all in the back.
Yep.
So you can think about that like a space where it's almost like a transition. You're disconnecting yourself from all your pleasures, and when you do that, it's almost like this liminal zone where you can sit and kind of just embrace whatever you're going through. That's where that development starts, right? Because all this stuff is showing destructive behavior, where they're not living in pleasure, they're living in collapse. So that kind of gives you a glimpse of it's far in the future, right? Like, oh, that's pretty much the zone that represents the light at the end of the tunnel. And now you have the observer of all this behavior. You could think about it like you observing your thinking, right? Or observing your thinking of your thinking. So from a metacognition perspective. And then you have the pig. So the pig is already cut.
Mm-hmm.
It has a big chunk out of it. And it has a knife. So that's telling you that even the things that bring you pleasure will still run away from you when you're experiencing that pleasure. Right? Because you have the pig running away from this so-called area that's supposed to be bringing pleasure to people. That's representing that specifically. That even if you're living in pleasures, there's still things that are gonna pull away from you. And then you have the duck. The duck's already cooked and served on a platter. It's serving itself on a platter. That's not how things are supposed to be served, right? It's pretty much like they sacrifice themselves. The animal sacrificed itself and just put himself there. It's supposed to represent what do you call it? Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote a bunch of shit on this because they showed this shit at the church and I was so pissed off because the guy was misinterpreting it. And I hate when people misinterpret.
According to you, according to your interpretation.
Well, unless-
all right,
unless
here's
the
mine.
guy was
So,
controlled
I don't
by
think
the
that.
No. He thought this shit was pleasure. He's like, yeah, they're indulging in pleasure. I was like, brother, that's not the only. It's a multi-layered painting.
Yeah,
This is the one thing that people need to understand about painting. You don't paint to create structure. You paint to capture emotions. That's why there's color.
Okay, so why do you think that the tree? I don't think that's putting in the background. I think that's way too big. Like that's not because the
This
other
is-
food looks like
okay, so
food.
this
That
is-
looks like
this is-
clouds. It looks like
okay.
it's clouds or hills. And I say that because the tree is going through it, and trees don't go through mountains, so that's not rock. But what I saw with this dude in the far background there, or at least the far right, where he's standing on the tree limb, I guess. And he's going through. It looks like he's crawling into that cloud, like he's trying to escape. what these guys in the foreground are trying to escape with their various tasks. And it's reminiscent of this void that I think that the philosopher slash whatever this other guy is here is leaning against. So you said he was a
He's
saint or a
artist.
philosopher or something? The dude in
No, he's
the
artist.
paint-
Yeah, he's a
the
painter.
what?
He's a painter. He's artist.
Oh, he's a okay. So yeah, the painter. He's looking straight up, and it looks like his head is just floating above a void.
Kinda.
And that also looks
Ooh.
like what that other dude is crawling into in the background there. But I don't know. It's fun to think
He's not
about.
crawling into. He has a spoon in his hand. You
He
see
does
his
have-
Oh,
spoon?
he
no,
does have a
the-
spoon in his hand. That's what got me too. When I thought he was trying to kill him or whatever, like sneak up on him and try to steal their shit.
Yeah, I trust me. When I looked at it the first time, I thought he was crawling in, and then I was
Wait,
like, no. I
where's
looked
the
in, and he had a spoon in
There's
his
a
hand, so
spoon
he's crawling
there's
out.
a spoon right underneath his right hand. Like it looks like part of the tree limb almost. The little.
And then you have to look
corner.
at the physics of the tree itself.
Am I seeing this backwards? He's crawling out of that. I
Yes.
thought he was standing on
No,
the tree
he's
limb
not
crawling
crawling out.
into
He's
it,
getting sucked
and he
in.
didn't have a shirt or something. Like that's his pants. Okay.
Yeah, look at the physics of the tree. The tree is being pulled.
Towards the
If he's
void,
coming
I
out of
guess.
that. That's what he thought it was putting. He's got a spoon.
Okay, so you have to
The other
you
dude
have
is
to
standing on
know
it.
one thing about Bruegel. Bruegel, he loved to use symbolic representation, and he used food in this painting. So, like, if you go next to the pig, you see that cactus that's made out of pancakes. That's a cactus made out of pancakes. And if you go to the tree and look in the background
Some kind of
and
food.
zoom into the fucking to the night and follow the staff to the background fence, that fence is made out of sausage.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah, I
telling
need
you,
a
this shit
better
has a
quality
whole bunch.
resolution.
It has a whole bunch of layers, but I did a whole writing on it. I dissected everything. I love to send it to you guys because
Bro, I got one
fucking
I got one that you'll probably spend so many hours examining. Have you seen The Garden of Earthly Delights?
that's one of my favorite paintings. I love it.
Yeah,
Show
I have
me.
that on my. I have a
It's
puzzle of that I made.
Which one's that one?
It's incredible. It's by Hieronymus Bosch or Bosch from the 15th century, I think. He was hired by the churches of that time to paint for them, and people would come after their services at church to just basically look at these paintings. And this one is over 7 feet long. Let me see if I can send it over. I'll just send the whole Wikipedia article on
That's cool. Yep.
because the Wikipedia article is pretty cool too. But yeah, I got a puzzle. I worked on a puzzle of that. That's 2,000 pieces. It took me almost 3 months. And is this it?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
And it's not letting me share it. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
what
cool.
it's representing is representing the subconscious mind and the external in the conscious mind. So like if you look at it, you have the left. Oh, fuck, I'm trying to find a picture without it being fucking part of Wikipedia.
The send button is not working. Okay, there we go.
There you go, I got it.
Where are you? I'm trying to find a picture that gets the whole thing.
You can click on the one that I just linked in the chat. That actually is really high resolution. Just the Wikipedia image.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
People will
So
buy
this
just one
is supposed
section
to
of this.
huh?
Some people will buy just one section of this. Like, so one of the major assumptions is that the panel on the right is hell, and the panel on the left is heaven, or some portrayal of heaven on earth. You have the Jesus figure with Adam and Eve, but it's like way deeper than that because the painting on the left, or the panel on the left, is very similar to the one in the center, which is the Garden of Earthly Delights, we assume.
They're integrated.
So much going on. This is such a crazy painting.
It's an integration. It's supposed to
Is it
show you
actually
that
3
there's
sections?
hell and heaven on
Yeah.
earth.
So
There's
in
good
the
and
church,
bad
this would be able to be folded up. So the two panels folded in,
Okay, yep.
and when they transport it and then take it back out, it's stretched out to be over 7 feet long, or 7 feet
Is
wide.
it weird that the top right part looks like fucking like Mordor, fucking Lord of the Rings?
Oh, yeah.
That part took me so long. The puzzle is crazy for this.
Do I bet?
I
Like the
bet, bro. That
places
shit looks
alone.
hard as fuck. I know I'll probably, it'll take me a while too. And I love puzzles. But that's a lot of intricate details you got to pay attention to.
Fuck yeah.
It's such a good
Which
learning
one?
process. I love puzzles.
The Garden
That
of
paint, this
Infinity.
painting, every time I
Okay.
look at it, it
Okay.
blows my fucking mind. Like, you have to have it.
Yeah, you were going into a lot of shit, man. Like,
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
doing that with paintings.
it is interesting to think about. Like, yeah, you can't really tell with some things, like what was intended and what's just an interpretation.
Oh, you have to understand symbolic representation. That's the biggest
I-
thing.
I feel like, yeah, when you get into like it's like when you look at it as part of the collective unconscious, like it just, the question, like which is it, kind of disappears to me. Like, so I think that there is allegory, like probably in the Lord of the Rings, there's allegory. You know what I mean? Like, and Tolkien didn't believe in
absolutely.
allegory. Yeah,
Tolkien talked about the allegory that he used, and there's political references in that to
we said he didn't
capitalism.
like allegory.
And he talked about industrialization, like early age of industrialization through the way that he described what Saruman does. He says, or Treebeard was talking about Saruman saying he only has a mind for gears and wheels and mechanisms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love that.
and
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
also get this from music. I'll go to concerts or go to symphonies and orchestras, like big performances like that, and ones that don't have any lyrics in particular, and then try to ask myself, what are they trying to portray here? What images come to mind when I close my eyes, and what kind of journey are they taking me on? That's also quite symbolic, but in a way that's not visual at all. The symbolism is based on emotion and what arises from your emotions in your imaginal, like Verbeke and friends talk about the imaginal realm, as opposed to imagination. There's a distinction there, but yeah.
So like Lacan and the imaginary, and then Jung had I haven't read as much as I should.
Archetype.
He had the Imaginarium or whatever, something like that. Like, he had some word like that, but it seems to be popping up as like a sort of structure or construct that keeps being differentiated from everything else.
When you get to symbolic representation, you have morphism of different symbols. It's if you did you see that alphabet thing I showed you?
Oh, the thing that's scrolling up, like the evolution of
well,
the alphabet.
yeah. So if you study linguistics, you have the development of syntax, right? So like if you look at symbols, those are when you get to grammar dominant communication, you get to symbolic representation. So it's use of specific words.
Well, they're saying the imaginary is basically referring to escapism, things that are unreal, fictitious, and products of the mind, often used to escape reality. And that's what you see in fantasy, like high fantasy, like Lord of the Rings. But it also can have some real implications, of course. But they're saying, in contrast, imaginal is a term from philosophy and psychology for a specific type of imagination that interacts with reality using images not to escape, but to perceive patterns and make sense of the world.
Oh, okay. So
It's considered by some to be a real objective space of archetypes and symbolic visions.
Okay.
Henry Corbin. Oh, that's from Corbin? That's cool. Yeah, Vervaeke's a big fan of Corbin. I haven't studied any, but
Go on, we look at.
I'm just looking at the distinction between imaginary and imaginal.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say imaginary because I mean there's still a sensation there that we're not even aware of. If you think about what creates imagination to begin with, imagination it's a accumulation of something that's creating a specific picture in the brain, and when you look at the neuroscience behind it, well, that correlates to dream state, right? Well, when we're sitting here and we're talking about something, we're super tired. That's if you can stay in that. There's a way to be able to make sense of it without it collapsing your mind. And you have to be able to take that information and put it into a structure that makes sense. And guess how they do that? They do that with symbols. It's why symbols are made to begin with. Symbols was a way to communicate something that had emotional depth, but also logical coherence. But
I agree.
when they realized over time that it wasn't the most effective way of communicating because the lack of syntax, that's when it started to evolve. Okay, we need to be more precise with our thinking, with what we're feeling. How are we going to communicate that? Because imagine if somebody walked up to you and just said, are you going to be able to understand what they're saying? No. You need to add syntax to that. When you add that, when you integrate that over time, right? You're not just going to just grab fucking chaos and stuff it into a box. It needs to be layered. It needs to be integrated in a very specific way. So it's the same thing that people use with linear thinking. There's logical steps, right? But what you're actually trying to do is you're trying to minimize the chaos in between those logical steps. You want the least amount of flexibility possible because you're trying to maintain stability. It's the same thing, but opposite way. When people speak in emotional language, you see a lot of fucking slang.
Yep.
You go to the hood, you're gonna see slang. You're gonna hear slang. You're not gonna hear a lot of syntax language. High syntax language. You're gonna see a lot of grammar focused language. You gotta study linguistics. Wikisci was great for that. But it's the same thing with paintings. Paintings have that same internal structure.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I remember something Patrick posted at one point.
Oh, what's
like a
this?
sort of
What is
order,
real parts of your Cynthia
an
Brooks?
order in which your eyes move, or like a direction or pattern in which your eyes move. Like yeah. So like that would be sort of like the syntax of a painting, like where your eyes go first, and then second,
Oh,
and
yeah.
third.
It's kind of like the salience landscape.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's VK Ramachandran. He's a neurologist and vision scientist. He coined that term, the salience landscape. It's what your eye is most naturally drawn towards. And then you can change that, is the idea. Like when you go to appreciate reality more, when you learn more about science and physics and cooking or whatever it is, like I'm in the kitchen, or I was just in the kitchen, and there's a lot more that stands out to me in the kitchen because I have had a lot of experience cooking with lots of different tools in the kitchen over the years.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, I guess you can't really take that back, or I don't know exactly how to think about cognitive overwhelm and combinatorial explosion with that, because it doesn't seem like something that's combinatorially explosive.
What do you mean by combinatorial explosive?
So that's
I could look it up real quick.
It's a term from 4E cognitive science. So there's the idea that there can be too many things for you to think about, and when you try to put pieces together in too many ways, it becomes combinatorially explosive. That's not the perfect definition for that, but in 4E cognitive science, they describe that.
Rapid growth is the numbers of possible combination, the problem as the number of variables or outputs. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you combine them in an imbalanced way. That's over compression. What happened? That's the shit that happens when is this recorded?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't say it out loud then. But that's what happens. I can't. It's too personal for people.
Wait, what?
Who cares? It's just us.
What is?
I was gonna use someone as an example, but I don't want to do that. Yeah. So.
Don't make fun of me.
But yeah, when you over attach variables, so like you can see this in category theory when it comes to logic, is the more you introduce variables that outweigh the stability of whatever you're trying to think of, you create that explosion. That's what that is rapid growth. It's like an unstable bomb, right? The more movement you have, the more flexibility you have in your shit, the more unstable it's gonna be.
Yeah, man, and I do wonder, like, with what you're talking about with the painting in regard to the salience of it, you're able to notice a lot more with those paintings because you spent a lot of time examining them and you studied a lot of archetypes and symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
and
I don't.
your
I
eyes
did it though.
drawn
I
towards
did it.
the
I
good
studied.
much.
I studied the way I felt internally.
Sure.
Or yeah, so I guess what I'm saying is you put the effort into that to examine that at the depth that you want to, and that's allowing things to stand out to you more than they would for other people who haven't put that kind of effort into it. And that so I could sound ableist by saying this as well. So I was gonna put a lot of work into a video, and I just decided not to upload it because of the ableism potential. So the sensory overwhelm, or sorry, that's not the term. Like hypersensitivity or whatever, for certain sounds and certain lights standing out to you more than you'd want them to. Perhaps if you were to do this salience landscape expanding exercise, or try to learn more about how lighting works, or learn more about whatever else is in the room that the light is making more noticeable for you, maybe that'll be less overwhelming because you can appreciate it more. And so I get into this thing about life is infinitely appreciable and gratitude and all that, and that can really help with so much of your psychological phenomena and your mental health. But when it comes into hypersensitivity, there are many people who think that you can't do anything about that whatsoever, and for you to suggest that you can is ableist. It's hard to describe exactly what I'm saying, because it's been my personal experience that has helped me not be overwhelmed by my own sensory experiences by learning more about what I'm encountering. It leads me more towards appreciation and gratitude more naturally than it does towards being overwhelmed by the situation that I'm in. Also, just being more informed about how to manage the emotions and how to not let yourself be overwhelmed, to use that terminology. That really helped you.
Yeah, you're clearing up that uncertainty, right? I mean, that's
Yeah,
what
I mean,
you're.
it's like Sockerson, this term being drawn towards the good. There's another one that I can't remember. It might be a Erosin, maybe. So being drawn towards the love or drawn towards the beauty. More
Oh yeah,
naturally,
yes,
being drawn towards-
okay. I know where you're going with this. It's like yeah, because beauty it stimulates your what's it called? It almost gives you the sensory experience. When it's beautiful, it gives you
better sensory experience. Yeah.
a better. Exactly, it's why they add color, right? It's why it's why you can have a pretty face, but the moment that you say something ugly or you do it, it kills the whole thing. That
Oh
shifts
yeah.
it shifts the whole perspective, because now you're not focusing on the surface level beauty, right? Because a lot of people they make that correlation uh, directly, like, oh, this person is beautiful, they must be nice, until they experience something different with this person. Now it shoots off the shit.
Right. I guess what I mean is, I'm just wary about how to think about this, because it sounds like if you just try harder, or if you just practice more gratitude and appreciate life more, then you won't be so overwhelmed by your sensory problems. And that's really hard to say. That's really
Well,
hard to convey.
I think a lot of people they don't realize that it's a two-part system. People believe that just because they stabilize the sensory experience that they're going through with knowledge, that's the fix, but it's not, because all you're doing is suppressing it, right? You're allowing yourself to harden that experience by coding it in intellectualization. But what actually has to happen is you have to embrace it first. You have to understand what's making you feel like that to begin with. It's not because you don't know the answers. It's because your nervous system doesn't feel right in this uncertainty.
Yeah, because it's
When
a
you
nervous system problem, and people think you can't do anything about the nervous system, and that's not
exactly, you
true.
can.
But it also is true sometimes. Like there's so many subjective limitations to the phenomenology of that, and the actuality of transformation in that regard. Like you can't just wish away your being bothered by the buzzing lights at Walmart, but maybe learning more about the cool items in Walmart that might help you not be so bothered by it. I guess that's kind of a lame example, but
It gives
never
you
noticed that.
the logical structure you need to move forward. That's the thing. The embracing of the emotions gives you the meaning, right? It allows you to experience it through pain and suffering, and that forces you to ask yourself, do you want to go through something like that again? That's gonna motivate you to not once you embrace it and you realize what you embraced and how painful it was. Let me correct myself because I fucked that up. So when you're embracing that, right? A lot of people, they think, "Oh my goodness, it's such a painful experience. I don't want to go through that again." But the thing is, when you learn to embrace and you allow yourself to calibrate to that pain and suffering, because think about it this way: when let's say you're in first grade, right, and you turned in a project, and you thought you worked so hard on it, and you thought you were gonna get the best result, and you end up getting a C. Well, now that experience, right, it tells you something. You can be in pain and deal with how whatever the results were, right? But when you sit with that pain and you learn to process it, you realize that, okay, well, what could I have done better? Because what's going to happen when you short cycle that experience? Well, now you have your biases. Oh, she gave me this grade because she didn't like me, or you're going to think about all these nonsense variables. But when you sit with it and really learn to embrace it and understand it, well, then you realize, oh, she probably gave it to me because of this. And then you start think about all the ways on how you can make your whatever you present it to them better. So it's a process. It's embrace the reaction and learn to understand it after.
Yeah, maybe you won't have those reactions in the future, at least to the same severity. I use the Walmart example because from the other side of mental health activism, which is also a tricky word because what I just proposed is also a form of mental health activism and encouragement, but the other end of this is kind of the people that are lowering the lights in Walmart, which is awesome. I love that. The fact that it's not like so much, what is it, halogen, or just like very unnatural lighting, and that I guess I didn't realize that it bothered me until I've been in a Walmart that actually did something about that. I was like, oh yeah, this is better. But for other people, it is a consistent bother. And, yeah.
How about you guys? How about noise? Is noise a thing for you too?
Yeah, noise that's a very vague concept because it's so. Are you talking about static, or are you talking about like
volume?
People
Volume
in
in
the
general.
background?
It's volume at the end of the day. I mean, the more different sounds accumulate in an area, the louder it's going to be. So it's volume at the end of the day. So it's when you're already a highly sensitive person, all your senses are going to be extremely sensitive.
Okay, so should we examine the term highly sensitive person, though? Because this is something that came out in the 90s called HSP, and it's been heavily challenged. It's not in the DSM-5, and it was in the DSM-4, I believe. And it's now on a website where you can go pay, I think, $9 to take an HSP test because they don't actually use those tests anymore in clinics. You have to go online to get them. You can see if I'm HSP or whatever, because that's a useful term. So this is one where I'm very concerned as well, because it is like highly sensitive to what? In what context are you sensitive? To what types of noise are you sensitive? You know, once you start breaking it down like that based on context, you avoid the generalization that makes you become a victim. It makes you overwhelmed by just anything that you could possibly be sensitive to, because you'll have those experiences where it's something that it's not the worst thing that you've experienced, but because you have a habit of describing yourself as HSP, that's added in with it, like that particular noise or that particular person talking in the other room, that's bothering me because of my HSP, whereas that bothers basically everyone in the same way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. And that's why it's very important to understand your own self-awareness. When you're a highly sensitive person and you're not self-aware of what you're feeling and what's the thing that's causing you that emotional feeling that you're feeling, that you won't be able to separate that. You're not gonna know if it's like when you walk into a room for the first time and you're extremely anxious, and you're like, well, why am I anxious? And at first you can question yourself, right? Oh, I'm
Highly sensitive, like everybody else.
thinking about what they're thinking. But the reality of it is you're feeling the tension in the room. But what a lot of people do is, if you go in the room and you're fragmented already, right? You have this anticipation and you're already thinking about every single fucking variable. You're not going to be focused on what you need to be doing. That's you focusing on too much. Your nervous system is saying, "Hey, there's a problem here. There's too much uncertainty. I need to figure out what it is." So what do? You become hypervigilant. If you're in a chaotic area for so long, and your nervous system is fucking saying, "Hey, this is dangerous," you're gonna try to figure out what's wrong with it. You're gonna try to figure out what's going on in this specific area. That's where hypervigilance kicks in, right? Hypervigilance can go into another extreme, but we don't need to go in that direction. But it's the same thing.
What about, guys? You guys are great. All right,
Peace out,
love you.
brother.
Bye.
Like, but yeah, I mean, you have to be aware of your self-awareness. So you have to be able to know what you're thinking about and what you're feeling, and be able to observe what you're thinking about and what you're feeling.
And most people aren't aware of that. They're just feeling it and being either overwhelmed by it or they're suppressing it unconsciously. And what I'm saying is that everybody is highly sensitive. Everyone has an extreme depth of sensitivity that they're either not accessing to the degree that they deserve to access it, or they're accessing it to a degree that's more than what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So using the word highly sensitive person is counterproductive in my opinion. Because we're all highly sensitive. We just view it differently and we handle it differently. Like my father is very, he suppresses a lot, and he's worked on that a lot in the past, and currently is still doing that. But he has a lot of depth to him, and a lot of the people that I've worked with counseling wise, suppressing their emotions will report that they actually do feel a lot, but it's
Yeah, they hold it.
yeah, they just know a lot of suppression.
Yeah.
It's well contained.
That's the old way of thinking, especially as a man. You're never supposed to explode. You're supposed to fucking keep bottle everything up. Like we were trained to do that for fucking millennia.
There is a lack of feeling that can happen too. Like you can become despondent and disconnected, and that happens with madness and depression.
You know,
the particular depression is loss of feeling, but you can regain that.
Yeah.
And enhance it.
I think it all stems to like I was going back to earlier with like wars and shit. Like men were fucking fighting wars, killing people, doing all the savage shit they had to do, right? And then you have to go back to your family and live normal. Like men had to compartmentalize like things in a different way than women. Let's say for that aspect alone, because of that. Like that's probably why we're better at fucking hiding our emotions, even though we're not like. It's not better, but like we can do it, I guess. Women usually are more like
more readily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the more readily available reaction is to hide or suppress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, so I mean, studies do show women make more decisions in relationships based on emotions, and based on or choosing partners based more on a connection and feeling.
Yeah, men are more physical, which I don't know what that came. I guess only thing I think that like because we were probably openly raping people for fucking 1,000 years. Every war, every time we were doing stuff. It wasn't about.
Or they're more. Yeah, it's more logic based or more harem based. Like they just want to have.
Yep.
Multiple relationships. Women are also quite sensitive. Like in the ways that we describe men being sensitive.
For sure. And honestly, the thing is, in general, with like almost everybody, you have a spectrum. You have a fucking. You're not all one thing. That's why I think people struggle with is they try to be like the one thing that they were told to be, but it's like you're not always supposed to be that way. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're supposed to be like this, like whatever. Each situation in life demand something else of you or something different.
That's exactly why you're supposed to be able to shift between them.
Yep. Yeah, I'm saying that's
You
the
know,
problem. I say a lot of people fight that. They try to stay the way, even though it doesn't work. Like, not for this situation, like, that's why I always think it's funny when people go, oh, are you a leader or a follower? I'm like, well, it depends. Like, I could be both. It depends on what we're talking about, what the issue is, like, if I'm an expert at something, I'm going to lead. And if I'm not, I'll sit in the back and fucking shut up and listen, and follow, like, same as everyone else. Like I said,
Yeah.
but people go to that mindset like, well, I'm a leader, so no matter what, I gotta lead. It's like, no, dude, you learn
that's
to step back.
fragile ego. That's a fragile ego.
Hmm.
That's a man who believes he's masculine and that doesn't embrace his femininity.
Yeah, but
Because
but
in
yeah, because
order for you to be
he's fighting it. That's the whole
masculine,
thing. He's fighting his fucking other side of him.
your shadow stuff.
Yeah. Well, again, the whole point is, in general, you have both. Everybody, like me, everybody, every person has masculinity and femininity. Like, you have everything in you. Like, stop fighting it. Just learn to accept that you're fine. Like,
Embrace that bitch. Fuck.
mhm,
Who the fuck's gonna tell you something? Like, why should you care about what anyone else thinks? Like, are they paying your bills?
right? Yeah,
Do they live with you?
Well, everything is in context, and
it is.
other people are a mirror to your unconscious.
Yeah.
Other people are your most accurate mirror to your unconscious. They're your most
That's
useful
if they
stuff.
can mirror you, right? If they can
truly
mirror you,
understand, well, I'm saying if they can get to some semblance of understanding the you, like the closest version of you.
you'd be surprised that there's people that when you represent yourself in a specific way, there is no mirror. There's fear. There's fear of uncertainty. There's
Yeah.
something that they don't know about you. There's just no mirror there.
I can understand.
Yeah, so I was gonna tell you guys. So I actually I took this girl on a date Monday,
Yeah, how'd that go?
and it was good. It was good. She's super smart. She's super kind, and yeah, everything went well. And I waited till the end of the week just because I had a busy week. Texted her Friday. We had a little short conversation, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then today I had a busy day. I had a busy weekend and a busy day today. And she writes me, and she's like, she goes, I enjoyed getting to know you on our first date since I hadn't heard back from you in a minute. I assume there's no connection.
She said that. You
So
said that.
so
That's what you said.
that right there, that was an assumption because of the silence. There was too much silence in between the interaction, which that's normal. I don't have to respond to her. I barely know her, right? But it's the rush to fill the silence. If there's too much uncertainty and a person can't deal with that uncertainty, they're gonna respond anxiously. Because look what she did. Number one, I enjoyed getting to know you on our first date. That was first. It had one connection. That was saying, hey, I enjoyed the experience that we had before. Now you have, since I hadn't heard back from you in a minute, she's referencing the time in between we spoke. That made her uncomfortable because she's saying, I assume. She can't assume because she never heard that from me, right? There's no connection. You can't assume that there's no
Oh,
connection.
yeah.
I mean, she can assume, but it doesn't mean it's right.
That was an anxious reaction. That
You
was
know what I say to that, man?
trying to close the loop so that she doesn't feel that anxiety anymore.
Yeah.
So
You know
you know what else? It said, what happened?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, just tell her this is what you've been told to do as a man. You're supposed to wait a day or two after your first date to respond, so you don't sound overeager.
Well, I'm gonna make myself a fucking priority first. Like, if I don't have the energy to give you, I'm not obligated to give it to you. Like,
Yeah, you gotta take care
I
of
already
yourself
gave you a
first, for sure.
conversation on Friday. If I'm going through something Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and my plan was to text you Monday afternoon, and you short cycle it by texting me right after work, that's just a lot. But she what she wanted to do is close that loop. She wanted to say, you know what, I want to be in control of this feeling. So instead of waiting and being patient, she closed it off so that she didn't have to feel anymore.
Or she's excited that she likes you and she wants to get to know you more.
That is
Either
It's
way,
definitely.
I would tell her that. I tell her,
So
Yeah.
let me finish because you didn't hear the last sentence. So the last sentence said this. So she went from, since I hadn't heard back from you in a minute, I assume there's no connection. So I want to wish you all the best in your life journey. Period. She closed it off. You know what I responded with? I said, I get why you think that. I know silence can come off the wrong way, but it really wasn't about lack of interest. Last week turned into a lot between work and family stuff, and I just needed a bit of space to get grounded again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to make things personal when we only just met, so I went quiet instead of explaining. I really enjoyed meeting you and appreciated how genuine and present you were that day. No response. That tells me that
that was a good response. Yeah,
it was perfect because I didn't invalidate her, but I also validated myself.
Yeah,
It's like,
your point
I'm not gonna. Why would I apologize? Right? There's nothing to apologize for, because there's nothing. A person who doesn't understand what it is to be masculine and doesn't understand their femininity will respond with an apology.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't do anything wrong. I had priorities first.
Yeah.
When I can respect myself enough and decide that, hey, I think I'm gonna choose this first. This is priority first. That's my self-respect. That's my self-love. And me, if I would apologize, that would be me disrespecting myself. Because now I'm invalidating my own personal experience. Like, she didn't know what I was going through.
No.
She didn't know all the shit that I was trying to accomplish. So that's just, you're reinforcing it in a perfect way right there. But that's the thing. People are gonna react that way when there's uncertainty. You'll see the reaction in the writing.
Yeah, the writing's always on the wall.
And it's usually layered like
they always show everybody shows themselves at one point. You just got to know when to pick it up. Like, a lot of people just are blind to the things, but like, if you pay attention, you'll see people's true colors, or like good, good, bad, and different, whatever.
Well, she made an assumption, and that's like you're saying. You don't make assumptions; you ask questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she should have started with
You
that.
ask questions. Although, so the cultural, is the cultural standard for you as the man to make the next move? If that is the case, then maybe that's a factor. But I don't know how to think about that.
Yeah, well, she's masculine.
Mm-hmm.
She's a petroleum engineer. You know,
She identifies as masculine.
it's not even as masculine. It's just it's when you're an engineer, you need logical structure, or you have that logical structure, right? Women who are in those type of fields, they're very analytical, and that's what they focus on. They focus on minimizing the tension. It's why they become an engineer. I'm not gonna say it's why they became an engineer, but women who are engineers have that mindset, because when you're purely emotional in a field of engineering, you're not gonna get the same results, especially not in petroleum engineering. But I think, petroleum engineering. I think it's the same thing that we deal with when we're trying to push new ideas, right? It's the discomfort of not knowing or not being in control of something. That's terrifying, because, well, why the fuck would we want to know what's next, right? Why wouldn't we want to know if there's another path? Like, we don't want to fucking fall, but when you get comfortable falling, that's what you're adaptable. You become adaptable because you know how it feels to fall. You know that, hey, if you felt like this, you're gonna get a specific result. If you felt like this, you're gonna get another result. You're learning to embrace to learn about the consequences that comes from failing. Because if you're not failing, you don't know consequences. You don't understand consequences. So that's why you gotta put yourself out there and just fucking do it. And I say that I contradict myself too, because there's times where I don't want to do it because I'm like, I don't know, this might happen. Sometimes you gotta do it and say, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, self doubt is a big problem.
I'm gonna pull you in, man. I will.
I'm having self doubt because I didn't sleep right last night, and I'm not speaking with the clarity and precision that I would prefer. I should probably go to bed.
Yeah, I gotta get up in the morning too.
It's 11:12. I gotta. Yeah.
So, all right, guys. I love y'all.
Later, brother.
Peace out.
Much love, guys.
All right, bitches. I'm about to head out. I gotta go with Stout.